Danful offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshe traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danful, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danful, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danful, Africa. To learn more, visit danful.africa.
At the Okoli Law Group, we specialize in producing justice. If you or a loved one in the Atlanta metro area is facing serious criminal charges, then you need serious legal representation.
The Okoli Law Group is here for you. The Okoli Law Group is here for us.
The Okoli Law Group, serious legal representation.
Peace, family. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Uhuru. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining. Y'all hit that like button. You know what to do. I give you guys the same action items every time I go live. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, super chat, Cash App. Come on a tour with me. Buy a book, stream the documentary. You know what to do, but for real, hit the like button, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe. Again, if you watch this live stream and if you're not a subscriber, why don't you want to subscribe? Just subscribe, hit that subscription button, hit that notification bell, and join the family. We are on almost every day. I would say minimum 5 days a week. And this is this is the only platform that for the past, as far as going live consistently, the past, we'll just say 10 years, that goes live 5-6 days a week and really speaks on diaspora issues. I don't think any other platform, I don't think there's a platform that exists that does that. I mean, I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I apologize ahead of time. I mean, go ahead and call me out and be like, nah, Dynas, I do it. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. But, hit that like button. Make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe. And all that good stuff. So got a couple of announcements. If you have not been to Amazon.com yet, all right, I need you to go to Amazon.com right now as we speak. I need you to type in Dynasty Mirror. All right, and buy a book. What's this cologne? Hell no, why is this cologne popping up? All right, when I type in Dynasty Mirror, okay, sponsored. Okay, I get it now, sponsored. But I need you to type in Dynasty Mirror, and I need you to buy a book. All right, go and buy a book for your cousins, your aunties, your classmates, your nieces, nephews. Everybody needs a Dynasty Mirror book on their shelf. All right, in their bookshelf. Again, everybody needs a Dynasty Mirror book on their bookshelf. All right, everybody. So go and buy a book. I would greatly appreciate it. And then you're going to head on over to Donfo.Africa. Check out where we're going. We're going to Nigeria in August for the Oshun Festival. That's August 2nd to the 11th. Then we are rolling to, where else are we going? We're going to Nigeria in August 2nd to the 11th. Then we're going to Zanzibar in September. We're going to Kenya in September as well, September 20th to October 8th. Then we're headed to Ghana and Ivory Coast in November, as well as Sierra Leone and Benin in January. So if you're interested in joining us, please visit Donfo.Africa. Again, if you're interested in joining, please visit Donfo, DANFO.Africa to learn more. We would love to host you on one of our excursions, mini trips. Oh, also, while you're on Donfo.Africa, click on documentary and stream the documentary. All right, click on documentary and stream the documentary, you guys. Come and join us. I mean, come and join us, but also enjoy the documentary as well. This documentary is going to be the #1 African diaspora related documentary in the world, and I need your guys' support. So again, click on documentary and stream documentary. I will greatly appreciate that. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for the support. Let's jump into today's topic. And we're going to griff a little bit. All right. So shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson, my brother from Sacramento. But he from Northern California. He's from Northern Sac. They're a little special there. Please forgive him. But O'Shea had a interesting topic the other day. Why Black Americans don't have to leave South Africa. And that's a great question, because with all the xenophobia going around that's taking place, Black Americans who are in South Africa, I have not heard them complain at all. I haven't heard that, I haven't heard them say that they're concerned about their safety or anything. They still there, living their best lives. So yeah, they're safe and sound. No, they're in Joburg. The majority of Black Americans who I know who are in South Africa, they are in Joburg. Again, they're in Joburg. So 11th like, God, y'all hit the like button. Come on, you guys, hit that like button. You know the drill. Please hit that like button. Black American organization in the U.S. supported Nelson Mandela and helped fight and bring awareness to apartheid. South Africa didn't forget. God bless them for remembering who was there. Well, Nigeria did a lot for apartheid too, as far as ending apartheid too. There was the Mandela tax. We can't forget about the Mandela tax. In fact, you know what? I kind of want to, let me start with O'Shea and his take on why Black Americans don't have to leave South Africa. Then we'll get into the Mandela tax.
How do we really ensure that what we're aiming to achieve really does benefit the majority of people?
South Africans had a protest all
fair use, O'Shea, fair use.
The alignment of March on March. And although this was not government sponsored, many foreigners decided to leave the country at this June 30th deadline. And some of these foreigners were Nigerian citizens. After the march occurred, there was a prominent editor having an interview on Channels News, and he asked a very interesting question.
And the irony, Ayo, is that this does not extend to white immigrants. And that is very unfortunate, knowing the history of South Africa.
Why are South Africans not deporting the whites? This is something that Julius Malema talked about. and this is something that many other people have talked about. Instead of having smoke for the black migrants, why are you not addressing the white migrants? But there are a group of black migrants who are not being asked to leave. And those are the migrants also known as #FBA, Black Americans, or African Americans. You see, our group who are in South Africa, they were never targeted. They were never asked to leave by Jacinta or anybody else. But how come they were not asked to leave, but all of the other Africans were asked to leave? Was it just American privilege, or was it something else? The first point we want to get to is insular versus collaboration. This is important. When you look at some of the migrants that come to South Africa, be it Zimbabweans or Malawians, many of their communities are in fact insular, but none are more insular than these three groups: Somalis, Ethiopians, and Eritreans. Now, this is true of almost every migrant that I've come across. When these groups come into the country, they usually...
He is correct. Somalis, Eritreans, and Ethiopians. It's even the case here in America. And well, we're talking about Africa. They really stick to themselves for the most part. You really don't see any like mix. I mean, you'll see some, Nipsey Hussle being an exception. You really don't see those three ethnic groups marrying out, if that makes sense. I know one guy, Black American guy, who's married to an Ethiopian woman, but he got his woman in Ethiopia. And he got Nipsey Hussle. He's half Eritrean and half Black American. I think the actress, I can't remember her name. I think she's half and half too. But they really do stick to themselves. They really don't integrate.
Operate top down. Somalis operate diaspora in. Eritreans operate diaspora in. That means money comes into their loop. It doesn't come to anybody else. They reinvest it into that loop. So when you're in somebody else's country and you're Somali, Eritrean, Ethiopian, or even Zimbabwean, Malawian, or if you're in the informal sector and that's criminal related, whoever you may be, nobody really accesses your loop. And your loop is for you. And what that means is a South African, be it informal or not, cannot benefit from your loop because you are there, but your loop is only designed to benefit you. And while you may call that group economics, that is also called being insular. I face the same things here in Uganda. Uganda is very insular. There's a lot of gatekeeping, a lot of relationship economy stuff going on here, which forces you to build your own thing outside of them. But imagine being insular in somebody else's country. Now, when you look at Black Americans, we are not insular. We are collaborative. If we start a business in South Africa or anywhere else on the continent, we typically treat the other people as a part of our family. I'm not saying we're perfect, but we typically have more parity when working with other groups. And so what that means is if you work with us, we're trying to build the business with you, not trying to keep our profits from you all the time. And what that does, it creates relationship bond making and trust between our group and somebody else. We're not perfect, but you see this happening in Ghana. We're not perfect, but you see this happening in Kenya. We're not perfect, but you see this happening in South Africa. When we start something, somebody can benefit from it. When the Somalis, Eritreans, or Kenyans start something, it's true that the state may benefit from it. And I do see Somalis doing some pretty good things and great things in Kenya. But some can argue in South Africa that their insular community benefits them. And that creates some level of resistance with South Africans, especially when you're competing in their particular neighborhoods or places of business, which they originally had for themselves. Let's contrast that to Black Americans. We are not coming to South Africa to set up shops or spaza shops or sell.
He's right. The majority of Black Americans who really, and this is common throughout Africa, but specifically South Africa, they retired. I mean, you might have a couple that are doing some business, that might have a shop. I don't know, but the majority I know, they're retired. They live a retired life in South Africa. I'll go ahead and put the link in the chat room. But yeah, but the majority are retired.
Phone shops or laptop shops. That's not what we're there to do. We come into country to do different things, where there's hospitality management, like the real South Africa, and tourism. things that actually build upon the country that also removes us away from daily competition with Africans. However, most African immigrants are operating on survivalism. They are there because something happened in their country, and they're literally there to compete the South African at any point. And while I understand they gotta survive, they must also understand they are competing with an existing group that already has citizenship. 2, entitlement. Many African migrants in which I have seen in real life or even in certain countries are very entitled to be in somebody else's land. Here in Uganda, they have a saying called, "What are you adding on us?" That means as a foreigner, if I come into your land, you ask me, "What am I bringing you?" That is a fair question to ask somebody when you're coming into their land. But Africans forget that they cannot ask that question when they go into somebody else's land. You cannot go into somebody else's land asking the country, what can they add on you? And that brings me to John F. Kennedy's famous quote, "Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country." And this is the problem with a lot of migrants. In their own home country, they have been beaten, brutalized, stolen from, take that trauma into somebody else's country, looking for an opportunity for themselves. And then you have the situation, and I don't know how true this is, guys, but someone sent me this. When you have Somali traders in the Western Cape of South Africa who are mad at some of the Costa people who are trying to trade, and they're saying these South Africans shouldn't be here, but they're Somalis, not even citizens. But that's entitlement. They feel that they're entitled to that land because that's their business. And the reason why they feel like that is because of trauma and pain, and they really don't understand the ecosystem of that you're not really a citizen in that country, and that land does not belong to you. But that's what happens with many African migrants. They feel entitled to be in somebody else's land. This is not all, but most. And when you feel entitled to be in somebody's land, that person doesn't want you in their land anymore. Black Americans, however, come from a different ecosystem. And I'm not saying that we can't be entitled or we can't be disrespectful, because we can. But we also understand very quickly that we are on somebody else's turf. We understand real quick when the prices go up and we don't have the leverage that we thought we would have or we think we should have. We understand that we got to build ourselves and maintain good relationships and start all over again and keep good names, deliver on all promises. We have to make sure we humble ourselves to stay within somebody else's system and respect their cultures, even if we don't agree with it, even if we don't like it. We need to be model citizens and be respectful of where we are. But this is where African migrants get criticized. If you look at certain parts of Pretoria in South Africa, people complaining in Sandton that the place is not the same. And largely that's because African migrants have been in that area. Same thing with certain spots in Durban. That's called entitlement. Entitled to take over an area or entitled to destroy an area. Either way you put it, that's on you, but that is how many people are going to see it. Number 3, no accountability. This topic comes up a lot of times on my channel, but let's go over it again. When an African tells me something that I have done that offends them, I must take the opportunity to understand the world from their point of view. In fact, this is how I've been able to understand the South African perspective, because I have taken the time to try to learn it. I have not always been like this, but I am growing and trying to understand, because I want my state here in Uganda, a country in which I love, to continue to go and to develop. But I must understand how people want to be talked to, how people want to be treated. What is the best way to work with the community? And I can only understand that by listening.
So I guess O'Shea is saying that. Well, see, that's the thing. Like I said, Black Americans were more. Like I said, the Black Americans in South Africa, they're predominantly retired, so they're not seen as competition because they're not opening up shops, they're not opening up stores, they ain't taking no jobs. So Black Americans are seen as getting in the way because they're getting that government, either Social Security or a retirement check from America. And I think with South Africa, there's a specific retirement visa that you can apply for. So when the South Africans say, "Let me see your visa," I mean, I can't do the South African accent. You know, it's a retirement visa, so they straight. And also too, when they hear their accents, they know they're Black American. Let me bring Mansek on real quick. Go ahead, Mansek. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, you can hear me, right?
Yes,
Hey, how you doing? How's everything? All right.
good.
I know you can't do the accent, but I could though. Sawubona Bozani. Yo, bro, you taking all the jobs, man. Get out of here. This is South Africa. You don't belong here. Get out. Get out here now.
That's good.
But to add a topic, add the topic. Yeah, they don't mess with Americans, and one of the reasons why they don't mess with Americans, could think about it, man. They put one here on American, man. You know that's gonna be a wrap, right?
I don't
And that,
know. When you say be a rap, what do you mean?
I mean, they're gonna get a lot of pressure,
Pressure
and
from who? Pressure from who?
well, for America, of course.
No.
I'm telling you, they're not gonna go walk up and just freaking just start assaulting Americans and stuff,
I
right?
mean, but you gotta understand, Americans have died in Gambia, Ghana. Nothing's happened.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that they're not gonna go just march and just like, I mean, as soon as they hear the accent, they're gonna let you be and stuff too.
Okay.
Um, but what I was gonna say is like the problem in South Africa, right? Like I don't always agree with O'Shea, you know. The system itself, damn near half the population is on financial assistance, and when you have a system like that, half the system is on. I mean, half the people is on financial assistance. That's gonna cause a burden on the system, and people are gonna start fighting over resources, you know. Um, so when that happens, man, people are gonna start fighting each other over it. I mean, you already see it now. Even some the Zulus is fighting with Pedi and the Zongas and Sutus and all that right now in different provinces. Because there's limited resources. Um, what was I gonna say? As far as the other like Black immigrants that come in, like I said, I can't really speak for whatever. 'Cause I'm not South African and stuff, but I would just say that give it to Home Affairs, but apparently Home Affairs is not doing their job on cracking down. You know, um, because I think I told you when I went to South Africa, I had a little situational that had almost happened to me down there, not with the natives, whatever, but someone else from another country. But um, yeah, that's about it that I could think of.
All right, go ahead, Africa.
Yeah, greetings, Dinas, Mansake, everyone on the panel and the chat. Like, share, subscribe, and support the channel. South Africa is having, in my opinion, basically, look, I have spoken to different South Africans, even on the panels here and on the backstage. Remember, the South African guy came here quite a while ago. A few of them, and one of them was spoke on the backstage. And I've spoken to a few South Africans over here in the UK, trying to get the in depth of the situation, why they target specific group in South Africa. In fact, there's a guy called Bantu Diary that you recommended. He actually spoke. Majority of the stuff that I said here, he actually spoke about it. But when I speak, people think, oh, you got Nigeria phobia or stuff like that. But majority of African countries are having Nigeria fatigue. Not all Nigerians, specific group of Nigerians. They have just to mess it up for other Africans. And when he says South African as xenophobic, I mean, there are countries in West Africa that are highly xenophobic. So Ghana, they're xenophobic. They expel Nigerians out of their country. Nigeria did the same thing to Ghana, and if you only have to go online or sometimes listen to some of the people that come here, the stuff they said when it comes to tribalism, about other regions and stuff like that, or religion. We're highly xenophobic people. African people are just a bit backward when it comes to these things. They haven't managed to grasp, how to live with one another and learn to live within the differences. And so moving on, I think South Africa, they have an external intervention when it comes to this xenophobia. I think there's a higher might behind this xenophobic issue in South Africa that's making it even worse because people are obviously studying the division in South Africa, and playing on it. The same factor that's behind the issue in the UK with all this xenophobia is the same thing that's happening in South Africa. Okay, simple as that. The Elon Musk have been sponsoring Toby Robertson in the UK. At the same time, he's known to be behind all this stuff that's going on in South Africa. That's just the reality. People can sit there and deny it. That's fine because they kind of feel like they have to hide, put bury their head under the sand, and make think things gonna go better for them one day. But good luck. So, well, I think also South Africans are very sorry, they're different how they see other nationalities in their country. African Americans, in fact, the guy that came here, he said Americans are welcome to South Africa, and I had that in other different platforms. South Africans are saying we don't have problem with Black American; they're very welcome in South Africa. Okay, um, so yeah, I know what xenophobia is. I studied xenophobia and I know exactly what it is. And I've studied the in depth of the reason why it's existing in South Africa, and some of it is growing in the UK. And I actually saw the study of the people who are sponsoring it. Stop being delusional, Mawadu Bobo. So the reality is, we Africans were easily swayed by money, by influence. We don't see each other as one, and at the same time, we have this sort of jealousy mindset when we see another African coming in, because there are Africans that went to South Africa that are doing really well. Why are they picking on those people? If someone come to your country, they're doing well. Why are you picking on them? Go after those that are coming in there selling drugs, pimping out the kids, or you're committing crime. Go after them, lock them up, send them back to their country. Leave those innocent, normal Africans who are going there to hustle because they're paying tax in the system. They improving the economy. There are a lot of Indians. I think South Africa is home to the largest Indian diaspora out of India. Have I ever heard them going
Is
after
he?
the
No, no,
Indians?
no, no, no. I think it is. You know what? Is You're right. It's Durban. You're right. You're right. It's Durban. Yeah. Yep. Yep. You're right.
Yeah, yeah. They never go after them. And some of the areas, they wouldn't even allow South Africa to even go there. So there is some issue with black people. Listen, some black people have self-esteem problem, and they'll bow down to the master and do all the dirty job for them, thinking the master will ally with them. I live in the UK. I've seen it. Hear this thing every day. In fact, today I was on the radio station. The UK is trying to get rid of a guy called Nigel Farage, who is a very, very racist idiot who the establishment and even some of the normal people who actually are racist, they're saying, look, it's about time we get rid of this guy. He's actually making the country feel ungovernable, uncomfortable. And then I had a Nigerian guy run the show. I said, oh, I think he's a great guy. He could be a good prime minister. And he's advocating for a racist guy. People are thinking, how are you? Other white people and other African people are calling the show and saying, why is this guy, when his people are suffering, in the hand of a racist guy who wants to be a prime minister in the UK, why is he calling and advocating for it? I don't understand. They try to diagnose his problem. This is when African people face. Majority of black people, they have this self-hate issue, and they feel like if they ally with the oppressor might feel sorry for them and give them a crumbs while they're going after their own. I pass the mic. Thank you.
All right, let me read these super chats. Shout out to Babaliko 9354, and shout out to you, Babaliko. You're always contributing. Thank you for $10 holla. Black Americans are not there selling on the streets; they're building houses and enjoying life. O'Shea Du Jackson, thank you for the 50,000 Ugandan shillings. I will come on, but the parasitism pookies be in their feelings. Laugh out loud. All right. The fact is it my no, it's my sisters. Go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Oh, great. Well, thanks for letting me come up. I just want to say that I am a Black American.
Mhm.
I I am considered an elder in the community, and I'm 61 years young, and I've seen a lot during my time here. I am I served in the military, in the Army, and also my spouse served in the military as well. So I come at the situation with a very different viewpoint. I believe one of the reasons why Black Americans are treated differently um, in terms of the African continent has a lot to do with Black Americans. We do have cultural capital, and that is something that not many um, Caribbeans and
Go explain what you mean by cultural capital?
cultural capital means that we may not have liquid assets, but we have connections to very influential people who can assist us and get us resources. Now, it's not to say that there are not Black Americans who are deprived of of monetary resources, but your typical Black American, um, oftentimes they have, and the ones who are traveling outside of the United States and with passports, because it is, there is a cost involved in it. But these African Americans, they are financially stable. They typically have some kind of asset that they could cash in or have access to. So I think that's one of the so I believe that's why South Africa is not asking Black Americans to leave, is because they understand that we do have that cultural capital that can be tapped into. So that's all I wanted to say, and I'm looking forward to hearing more of your show.
All right, I appreciate it, my are you a new listener?
I am. I
Are you
am.
are you subscribed?
I have not subscribed.
Why not? Why not?
Because I just found you.
Okay, well, make sure you subscribe and join the family.
Okay.
Welcome, madam. Welcome.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kidola.
Thank you, Dennis. I think O'Shea is playing what I call a very dangerous game. A very, very dangerous game. O'Shea is very new to Africa. He doesn't know the African nuances and everything. You see, Black Americans that are coming to South Africa, some of them are pensioners, some of them pension from the army. So they live in the upscale neighborhood where the white people are staying. So they're not really seeing the darker South Africans that might be some few of middle class blacks, few South Africans so they have contact with. While the other ones, like the Somalis, the Ethiopians, whatever it is, these ones are embedded. These are business people. They're embedded by selling things to these black South Africans themselves. So once you are not selling nothing, but you're always spending your money, they don't have nothing to do with you. But that doesn't mean that you are free for anything. You can be robbed also. Especially when they know you are black, your whole type of robbery will be even be different. It can be very aggressive. It can be very deadly. Just where they kill, just where they delete Lokudube. So him saying, oh, Black Americans should always go to South Africa or remain there, he have to also tell the Black Americans also, be careful what you're doing and don't never misguide yourself, whatever you're doing. So other Africans who are doing, who come over there, make money, do business towards them due to capitalism, I understand. The Black South Africans, majority of them doesn't know how to do business. I ask a lot of people who are there. Who are the people? Are they nice or not? Why are they very aggressive? The guy told me, look, South African people, they are very happy people. They know how to be happy. But the problem with majority of them, they drink from Monday to Monday. That's just all. From Monday to Monday is drinking. You talk about, say, okay, black people, other Africans are doing. Do you know Pakistanis are marrying a lot of black South Africans? Pakistanis are marrying their women, using them for documents and everything, feeding them. It's about, according to Africa, there are two groups sponsoring this group of people. with little cash. They are politicians, black politicians. One of them is McKenzie, who see the darker ones, who doesn't have opportunity of doing nothing. Rather, they have to go and clean the white man pool and become a housekeeper. That's what actually they actually know. That's actually what they need to. When you hear they say job, give me job. It's about the white man to give the job, but they don't want to create job for themselves and try to stand and still with it. That's the even sending other companies out of this country, Nigeria, MTA. These are companies being owned by white people. These companies they are not being owned by black people at all. That is the dilemma that other Africans are facing. How to deal with these people? Must they suspend them, treat them like the way they treat the apartheid? People don't understand. People, when I hear people say, "Oh, Black America help them," Black America help them. Do you know the price other African people paid? Mozambique people that they are killing today. Do you know they were even the white South Africa were even boom boom boom. Mozambique, Zambia. Kenya was almost being destroyed. Nyerere was being destroyed. Of Tanzania. Most of these people spend money. The problem with these South African people also, they are perpetual liars. That's what the other Africans they actually understand on them, because they were victims of other things. So their elite did went back and tell their people, hold on, these people spend a lot of money on us. People like the Biku, them Watasusu, Mobeki, even this guy that is
30 second kiddo, 30 seconds. I'll pass the mic.
Okay. This one that's also sponsoring it, and this very deadly, they are very dangerous president. There's also hands also they also. So I'm not in the mood, oh, you want to play divide and conquer. Black Americans are going to all you will see the rap of these guys. That's where Black America will understand this is not about you people and they are different. I love you or you love me. We know the white man. We kiss the ass together. Thank you.
Go ahead, pass Babaliko. Go ahead, Babaliko.
Yeah, when I've been to South Africa, I have a friend there. He bought he built a $300,000 house, U.S. Huge, gorgeous, big house in Johannesburg, and they live in Black Americans. And he was putting me towards this. They got like a little organization. He was putting me towards so I could buy some land and I could probably build a house, but I don't want to stay there. I told him I don't want to stay in South Africa. I'm looking more like Namibia and Botswana. I'm looking around those two areas. And what he showed me, and they have American culture, and they have a lot of big houses. They're buying up they retired from the military. So what the lady is saying is right. A lot of the Black Americans, mostly retired, the money's going a long way there. So they're building houses and stuff. So how are you going to send them away? They're not on the streets. They're not selling any stuff on the streets or have little stores. No, they got houses there. And they're living a very good life. I imagine he took me on this boat ride, what I'm saying? And they had like all these fruits and the champagne, and they're living a great life over there. So that's different. Now, when I was in Ghana, it was a little different. In Ghana, like what I see in South Africa and what I see in Ghana is two different, because mostly I see a lot of kids on the streets in Ghana. A lot of kids. And I'm asking my boy, like, why are these kids not in school? Why are they out here begging and running on the cars? I take out the $10 and it was snatched from my hand. And I don't even know who the hell snatched it. And I'm like, what the? So it was a little bit different in there in Ghana and in South Africa. But South Africa is not going to be like Black Americans is not going to be like those guys that they chase out and stuff like that, because they got the Black Americans and then they got money. My friends and them, they got money over there. They're doing pretty well for themselves. So it's not going to be like that. Even though we travel, we got property in Miami and here I'm in Texas and I travel around. So it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But what he told me too now is the people they run out, they chased out. The South Africans are suffering even more now. I was like, how? He was like, because the stores now are closed down, where people used to go and buy their bread and stuff. The stores are closed. I'm like, you lying? Yep, it closed down. Now the people are crying for the foreigners to come back. Hospitals, nothing. I'm like, what? So they did themselves a disservice the South Africans, the bad service they did themselves by running the foreigners out there. Because it looked like the foreigners was the ones who was really keeping up in those areas, those poor areas. They was the one who was really opening stores and helping out and stuff there. So now I hope those guys, those Dudula guys can create jobs for those people now. Let me see them create jobs for them. So it's very sad that what I see South Africans did today, the people talking about the Zimbabwe or whatever, but it's very sad. I'll pass the mic, but it's very sad what I see. Go ahead.
Let me read this super chat. Richard, rich and fortunate. Thank you for the $10 holla. South Africans can't even go in the Palestinian area in South Africa, and they just got there. Okay, go ahead, Jagoon.
Facts.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Excuse me. Thank you very much. Dennis, again, I've got to put a query. I always have to salute you for your show, and just the fact that you have a platform that allows the Black diaspora world to come together and discuss. I always think that's very important. However, I do find a lot of the things that we are discussing from time to time quite diversive, quite, Africans against Americans. Not that you're meaning to do this, but that's what conjures, and that I question. I think the conversations that we need to be having are much more in order to build rather than to criticize each other.
Hold on, Jagoon. When I had hold on one second. When I had the brother Kia on, the sister Kia on with Traverse Culture, that was Tuesday. You weren't here.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, so I've had her on a couple of times the last week or so. I had the sister on from Brazil on.
I'm not saying
hold on, Jagoon. Whenever I had these conversations to build, you don't show up. You show up to the
well, you can blame me if you want. If that helps you, that's okay. But it doesn't.
I'm just saying that's the truth. You don't show up whenever.
No, maybe, but again, my brother.
Let me hold on. Let me talk. So
you didn't let me finish talking.
Jagoon, I'm the host. I'm speaking. So. Whenever I had the building conversations, so right now we have 195 people in the chat. We had like
you're complaining about what I'm complaining about.
Don't interrupt me, Jagoon. I'm speaking.
You interrupted me. What are you talking about?
All right, I'm not doing it today, man. Like I'm the host. I'm talking. Don't interrupt.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, go ahead, Invisible Man. But let me finish this. Let me finish this. So when I had Key on Tuesday when we were building. I only had like the most 35 people in here. 35 people showed up. When I had the sister on from Brazil, like 35 people. So we do have these conversations, but people just don't show up. But go ahead, Invisible Man.
I think I must have missed those two also.
Right. Yeah, everybody misses those for some reason. But go ahead.
But there is a deep connection between South Africa and the civil rights, the old school civil rights leaders in the United States. Every single civil rights leader in the 60s was down there in the 70s helping Mandela. Every single one, whether they were an elected big city mayor to the Urban League, the NAACP, whether it was Muhammad Ali, whether it was Motown, I don't care who it was, they were down there. So that's an aspect of that could be one reason why, they look at Black Americans differently and they don't come at them as hard. And then the other speakers touched on some things too. They're sophisticated. Black Americans going down to South Africa are a little bit more sophisticated than if they're going to other places in the world. So they do have that connection, and they can kind of trigger some power triggers there. The other thing is that I happen to not personally know, but there are a number of young Black businessmen and women down there all the time, as well as religious leaders that take annual treks down there. So, I'm in a developing country, and I think there's a difference between a third world and a developing country and how they look at uh, different sets of people and the what they have to offer. And if they are slighted, then that's going to hurt their economy, or it will prevent them from growing as fast. Right. So if you do, like you said, I think you're the one that said, if they hear an American accent, then they're going to kind of back off and say, "Uh-oh," even though if they target them initially, they're going to kind of back off of that, because they know that tourism dollar is a major aspect of what they're trying to grow, because it is tangential to the economic development. And for a country that is a developing country versus a third world country, they're a little bit more sophisticated in how they treat Black Americans. You can't put it any other way. Black Americans in some places of travel, the countries, the police, the tourist police, they step off. Oh, and let me say this. I'd love to hear O'Shea on here, because the other night before I came on and listened to your show, I was listening to O'Shea. O'Shea, I'd love to hear what the problem is up there, because then again, there's this guy that, because of what I listen.
Give me. Sorry to interrupt, Jagoon. You are on timeout until further notice. You probably till tomorrow. You're on timeout, Jagoon. Again, when I say the host is talking, the host is talking, and you have to respect the host and be quiet. That's just. I mean, that should be. I shouldn't have to explain that. So, Jagoon, stop clicking the link. All right, you're on timeout. Okay, you're on timeout for right now. All right, and then also too, I want to address a comment from Elvis. Elvis, even when I've had the constructive conversations during prime time, people like, and I give you a prime example. I had the sister on with who was speaking on Afro tourism and Black and African architecture, the importance of it. Nobody really showed up. So again, we have these conversations. Again, you guys just don't show up, respectfully. All right, but go ahead, Invisible Man.
So, I don't know what's going on with O'Shea, but he seemed to be troubled that couple days ago. And then because of what I listened to, the algorithm gave me this other Kenyan guy. And I was listening to him, and I was like, what the hell is going on over here with the podcasters, the brothers over in Kenya, in Uganda? And Uganda was the very first African country that I visited. So I would like to hear what he has to say. I don't necessarily listen, or I'm not really subscribed to O'Shea like I am with you, but there was troubled waters going on over there. Anyway, I just think that the civil rights era really built a strong connection with South Africa and Black Americans.
Well, guys, links in the chat room. If you want to call in after the conversation, you're more than welcome to. Let's see here. O'Shea Du Jackson, thank you for the 15,000 Ugandan shillings. I guess that's what UGX is. I'm so happy you kicked him off. I cannot stand him. Babaliko 9354, thank you for the $10 holla. O'Shea, you need to come up here and explain yourself on how Dr. Africana and Ibrahim Traore scam up. I'm your friend, but that one rubbed me the wrong way. Okay. All right, go ahead, Big Black.
Okay. I think the brother touched on a little bit too. As far as the African American and South African relationship, I think what it is that they historically they've seen white racism more at a bird's eye view than the rest of Africa. Also, I can include the Black people and in the UK and whether they're from continental Africans or Jamaicans. When you're in a power structure, right, that oppresses, you see white racism more directly than indirectly. So I think when African Americans when they see African Americans come, they don't look at them as competition. Uh, they unfortunately they do see what's going on the internet. Some of the continental Africans and few of the Caribbeans, they see sometimes it looks like they're, you know, kissing white folks, but some of them, not all of them, I should say. But they see that, and I think they're afraid of that happening there, because I've heard the term lazy get thrown out towards African Americans and South Africans. It's a underlining tone probably when they see their fellow continental African brothers coming over there. It's like maybe they feel like they think they're better than them, because those countries are free, and they still have a right racist presence in South Africa. So I think that has a lot to deal with it, So we understand each other's struggles a lot better. So when you understand, when you all come to an understanding, it makes it easier for them not to look at African Americans as if, they want to kiss up to white people and, basically try to replace them and, maybe sabotage them, So I think that has a lot to do with it. Because from what I've noticed, and don't get me wrong, a lot of continental Africans, they're catching up quickly. They're catching up to what's going on as far as like how racism affects us. All black people in all parts. Dealing with all parts of the land, dealing with the racist white people. They're catching up very quickly. But I think what's going on there is they feel like there's some type of competition and they're competing with them, and maybe they're trying to undermine them with white folks. I think we should have more South Africans come on, because I don't think they're just all, just xenophobic people. If that was the case, why do we have, Julius Malema? And he has a big Pan-African movement in South Africa. So I don't believe all of them are like that. But I think there's a deeper discussion that I believe we need to include some South Africans to come on and give us their viewpoint of why this situation is occurring. But I'll pass the mic.
All right, go ahead, Taraka.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Dinus, I got to back you up on that one for sure. When you have these shows on, and I was on all of them. The sister from Kenya with the tourism, medical tourism, the architecture sister. You had a bunch of people on, and only a few people show up. Only, let me see. I know M was on one time with the architecture sister because he do architecture. But yeah, you got a point. You got a point. People need to show up when we have these constructive talk shows and stuff like that. People really need to show up. All right. South Africa, boy, that's a big deal. I don't think there will ever be enough African Americans there or other people from diaspora to make a big noise. It'll be interesting to see if, and it'll never happen, if droves of African American go there to see how they would react. There was one sister, she's African American. She was in a club with another African American dude, and it was only one person, this one incident. She screamed out because you hear the accent, so she screamed out. Another South African sister screamed out and said, "Yes, you need to go home to your back to America. We don't need you here." Right? But that was just one incident. I haven't seen anything else. And I will send you the video at some point, Dinah, so you could see for yourself. You probably know of the sister, but I don't think they would ever do that to African Americans. My thing is they chasing out the other Africans, both legal and illegal, right? But where did they taking live lives coming. That part, that's the part I don't get. All right. I mean, if people don't want you to, if they don't want you to stay in their country, yes, you know, I will leave. Right. But where does how the killing part get in it? That's what I'm perplexed about. That's all I'm going to say.
All right, let me read this super chat. O'Shea Du Jackson, thank you for the 10,000 shillings. When I was doing and paying thousands of dollars to review farms or business stuff, it was low views. Now, if it's cheek clapping topics, they will watch. There you go. All right, go ahead, Castro. Unmute yourself, Castro. Castro. All right, go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? So, I've been thinking about this, and I think that the reason that the South Africans are not coming at Black Americans, and I'm going to say something controversial, so please forgive me.
Go ahead.
I think it's because of white proximity. I think it's because of ability to adapt to Western white culture and values. And I think that South Africans see that Black Americans are more compatible with those things as opposed to indigenous African tribes that are in South Africa. And then you have the
that's actually a good show topic. I'm gonna write that down. That's a whole nother. I mean,
but what about the Zulus?
Hold on 1 second. So, Zulus are indigenous to South Africa, so they're not going anywhere. So,
no, what I'm saying is they still do their cultural things.
Yeah, but they want to have white people in their society, so they're not messing with white people. And even if you have,
they've been going against it. They've been wanting to kick out white folks for the last couple of years, from what I'm understanding.
I'm not aware of that. Also, even the Black British, if Black British people are in South Africa, they're not going to mess with them either, because they also are in proximity to whiteness and have adopted into Western white culture. It's the pure African, untainted. They don't follow white traditions and values. Those are the ones that they're kicking out.
I totally disagree with that. But
okay, so that's my opinion on that.
Yeah, but what about the illegal white? I saw a report that there's about 2 million. Not South African white, illegal white people in South Africa, and they're not doing nothing about them. What about those white folks that's trying to separate the northern Eastern Cape from South Africa? And the leading candidate is he's a South African citizen married to a South African, but he's from Britain, right? So you're not worrying about half your country, one of the most important part gone, your culture gone. You see what I'm saying?
Just a 6 months.
Well, let Ben respond.
From what I'm being told, they're saying that they're not taking the jobs.
What I'm saying is
they're not taking the jobs. The rent.
So
for sec.
Master, let Ben finish. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that you mentioned illegal whites. They're not going after illegal whites because they are white.
Obviously, yeah.
They're white. So they want to be in proximity to whiteness. That's the core thing that's going on with South Africa, and even with Black America. I live in America, and I notice that they're not resorting to the violent part, but they're socially ostracizing all Black immigrants. It's the same thing. And they say that, these Black immigrants, they don't know how to adapt to American way of life. They come here with their culture, their culture, and like for the Haitians, they keep to themselves and they don't want to intermingle. It's the same thing. The only difference is that the South Africans are taking it to the next level, which is physically confront Black immigrants. Black Americans can't do that because they're smaller in number, and the laws in the United States won't allow it. Whereas in South Africa, it doesn't seem like the rule of law is strong over there, because otherwise they wouldn't be, resorting to what they're doing right now.
Yeah,
But
you got it all wrong. You got a short term memory. You remember the song "Kill the Boers"? What happened when Trump was saying that there's a genocide of white people going on in South Africa, and he bring all those white folks here?
But that was a lie.
What was? Well, no, there was some type. Obviously, there was some tension.
No.
Propaganda, bro. Propaganda.
No, that was more than just propaganda.
Propaganda, bro. You have to follow it for a long time.
But what you should understand,
But you have to understand what B Black is saying, though. You have to understand what B Black is saying is right. Because Malema followers were chanting that, and there was some mass killing of some of the farmers. They was getting robbed. So they're trying to twist that as a white genocide, which we know is not. It's just crime that's happening in the place.
Let me ask you all this.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all this: If African Americans are saying that, some of African Americans are saying that, hey, some of the immigrants, the black immigrants, they come over here and they try to undermine us. They say that we're lazy and this and that. You don't think when some of those immigrants come over there, some of them share the same sentiments, and those South Africans are not noticing that?
Bro, you better worry about the Koreans.
I'm not worried about
the Indians. Worry about them.
Listen what I'm saying. I'm not worried about that. I'm a Pan-African, but still, I'm not blind. I do see some of that. If you carry some of that same, listen, what I'm saying is, if you carry some of that same type of attitude, not all African immigrants, right? Not all Caribbean immigrants. I say a very few. They just, it's the internet, so it's a large platform. Their message carries. They're loud with their message because it's the internet. But I believe the minority of immigrants think like that.
Hey guys, we got a new caller. Go ahead, Elvis.
All right, thank you, Diners. Hello to you and the panelists and the chat. Let me say this, right? I don't usually do flowery words and stuff like that, but to my big brother Jagon, I think Jagon, you have to pay deference to the host of the platform. I think you have to show him respect. And kudos to Diners. I think he's been more consistent. These few days he's really been doing the show almost every day. So kudos for that, Diners. At least consistency helps, grows the platform and maintains a high, audience. But when it comes to your topics or your shows, I think the most provocative topics, it provokes, conversations, and people like shows that intrigue or pique their interest. So I think that's one of the reasons why certain shows don't get the views. But on the topic of South Africans, right? I think we have to look at the numbers. South Africans by themselves, without immigrants, just amongst native South African, has one of the highest crime rates in the entire world. And I don't want to blanket it by saying this, but South Africans are violent. They're very violent, even more violent than other Africans on the continent. Their crime rate is insanely high, and it's like they get a rage in a moment of, of violence that they're not even to themselves, because they kill one of their legends, and the guy who killed him, they didn't even realize who he was until afterwards. He realized he killed Lucky Dube for a car, and he didn't realize he was killing one of their prominent citizens, that many Africans across the continent love so much. So the crime rate in South Africa is high. Now, when people come and say stuff like, oh, there are other Africans who are committing crime, sure. But most people who leave or flee their countries, if you want to use that word, they're not going to another country, to go commit crime. They're going there to try to survive. They're going there to try to have a better life. They would do menial jobs. They would do whatever they can just to have a better life than they had in their homelands. So the crime rate compared to the native citizen in any country from immigrants is always going to be minuscule. Even in this country, immigrants commit far less crime than native born citizens. That's a fact. And it's most likely the same thing for South Africans. So like some people have said, there's a sense of entitlement, which I think is right, and there's nothing wrong with that. We have a similar case here in the United States, but I think South Africans feel like because of apartheid, because of what happened in their home country and how they were subjugated by the white people, now that now that they're free and they have been included in the economy and other social, spaces, they should reap the benefit, and they should reap more benefit than any other black person that come into their country. And in their mind, they're reaping certain benefits, but they don't want people who didn't suffer to reap that same benefit, like the welfare system, if we can call it that, in South Africa, the hospitals and certain things that black South Africans get from the government, or I guess all South Africans get from the government. They think that it should not be extended to immigrants, which you can make an argument for that. But again, there are a lot of smart South Africans, and a lot of them are action orientated. They like to take action. They like to protest and make their voices heard. It's baffling to me that they can't put together a group to pressure their government to make meaningful reforms that's going to prioritize South Africans over other immigrants. If that's the case, if they're saying we want to be prioritized, certain jobs should be reserved for South Africans, and certain minimum wage for certain jobs should be applied for native South Africans. Those things are meaningful reforms that South Africans can benefit from. And you're asking your government to implement those things to benefit you, not to go out and attack immigrants and do things that's only going to damage the reputation of your country. Right now, South Africa is a pariah, state in Africa. A lot of Africans, they're just waiting for an opportunity to met out some violence or some form of, xenophobia against South Africans. So
They're not going to do it though, Elvis. They're not going to do it.
Yeah, we'll see if the opportunity comes. But I'm just saying,
they ain't going to do it.
Yeah, they put themselves in a bad light. But for me, I think
forget they will do it. The other Africans are just waiting for the right time. They will do it.
They will, and that's what I'm saying. And it's sad because we all. I mean, say we, but during the time of apartheid, a lot of black Africans were in solidarity with South Africa. They don't hate South Africans. We love South Africans. We love their music. We love their culture. We feel what they went through. So it's never hatred. It's just that certain people, like some people say, have different reasons and why they're xenophobic. Some people feel like they're taking their women. Somebody actually said that on one of the interviews, which is kind of pathetic. They're taking our women. I don't even know if I can get a girlfriend anymore. One of the guys said it in one of the videos we saw on YouTube, which is crazy. Others feel like the immigrants are coming and they are having the upward mobility more than the native South Africans, selling in their communities. We have the same thing here in the United States. Black Americans, complain about Koreans or whoever that come and make corner stores in their neighborhood, and they become quote unquote rich of the black poor people in those neighborhoods. Some South Africans have that that same sentiment. So it's understandable, but at the same time, target your government, let them put into law things that will give you an advantage.
Give me 1 second. Jagoon, you're on timeout for tonight. Stop calling in. You can come back tomorrow, but you are on.
Maybe you want to apologize, Dinas.
Yeah, perhaps Donis, let him apologize if that's only what he's going to do. Because we all like Jagon, but he's been out of pocket with you. But I'll pass the mic, Dennis. I just want to make my 2 points real quick.
All right, let me read the super chats. I got a Crenshaw Grinder 4725. Thank you for $5 holla. The South African xenophobia is a product of certain intelligence agencies and governments. Babaliko 9354. Thank you for $5 holla. Malima say as long as he alive, then whites will never take Western Cape for themselves. My sisters, would you like? Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yes, I would, if that's okay.
Go ahead. By all means, go ahead.
Okay. I can't remember who was the caller, but he made a statement about Black immigrants in the United States. And I just wanted to clarify something about Black immigrants. As probably as many of you know, the U.S. Supreme Court has approved the Trump administration authorization to end temporary protective status for Haitians. And
TPS.
Yes, TPS for the and I'm sure you all are quite aware of that. Now, what the media is not telling you is that there were attempts over the years to move the Haitians from TPS to a permanent resident status. However, it was blocked by the Latino community. The Latino community, which is they are the largest minority group here in the United States, they opposed it because they wanted some form of amnesty. And the Democratic Party, they knew that the voters just would not be supportive of so many people receiving amnesty and also that transition from TPS to a permanent status. And so, unfortunately, the Haitians got the short end of the stick. So I just wanted to make you all aware of that there were attempts to try and help the Haitians, but for political reasons and cowardness from our elected leaders, that's the reason why they are in that position. Now, my other question that I wanted to ask you all is because I'm not sure how it works in South Africa, but in the United States, um, whites here use Hispanics as a buffer group to deny us resources. Is there a buffer group in South Africa?
Yeah,
That,
it's the Indians.
ah,
Yeah, 100%
Yeah,
the Indians.
Indians. Yeah, they're the one that play in both sides. Okay, there's a guy called Gupta. Gupta is the one that own I think either Tata or Liberty Steel. Okay, when the former president Jacob Zuma was in power, he was spending a lot of money in the South African media to stir up between the black and the white. So what the Indian doing? They play both sides. They playing the black side. They playing the whites. So basically, they try to get the black and the white to, get to head and head, so they can actually, eat while the black and white fighting. That's what they do in the UK over the history of the UK. They've been doing that same way. But now we both smart. We know exactly their game, so it's not working here. But I hope South Africans are smart enough to understand that. Once they got those Indians in South Africa, things will never ever work out for them.
Miss Maya, did that answer your question?
it did. Yeah, thanks for that information. Those of you who are from South Africa, that's where you should mobilize your effort because here in the United States, I know Black Americans, we are really starting to wake up in terms of how our resources are being diverted from us and being given to other groups and how we're just really missing out on it. So that's all I wanted
Yeah,
to say.
by both parties, though. But you know that, right? By both parties, Democrats
Absolutely.
and Republican.
But the
Okay,
reason why I am more critical of the Democrats is because they typically receive
definitely,
over 90% of our vote. So the party that gets the most votes, in my opinion, gets the smoke. And so,
definitely.
yeah, that's all. Thanks a lot.
Let me read the super chat. O'Shea Duke Jackson, thank you for the 12,000 Ugandan shillings.
How much is that down? It's 99 cents.
We'll look it up. The surrounding counties felt their citizens, and these countries are the most responsible for the people leaving. The surrounding countries, I'm sorry. South Africa is not to blame. Malawi, Ghana, Nigeria, Zim is to blame. East Coast Kev, thank you for $10 holla. As an African American, I have no problem fleeing for better opportunities. This is why I despise the FBA bozos. My grandparents fled to South to go north for safety. My bad, and better opportunities. All right, go ahead. Hold on. Let me bring on. Go ahead, Jagoon.
Hey, how are you?
I'm well.
Very good, very good. I'm gonna miss out what I was about to say in terms of when I was interrupted by yourself.
All right, I ain't got time for it. All right, he got to go.
Dragoon, come on, man.
Yeah.
Apologies first. Come on.
Yeah. He got to go. All right.
Let
Go ahead,
me go
kiddo.
again.
Go ahead, kiddo.
I think you see, it's easy for when Mandela came to power.
And see, 1 second, Kill. Target. That's why I didn't want to bring him back on because
Yeah.
I knew. I already knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Jagoon,
You have to have an IQ. Yeah, you have to have an IQ to understand. Some people got very low IQ and low self-esteem, so they will support degeneracy. Absolutely. I mean, come on, we know that. Anytime he come down, I ain't got no personal problem with him, but anytime he come to the show, he ruined the show. He's a very disruptive, and he's an old guy. You know, he should know better. And I see him on other Nigerian shows. He don't behave like this at all. He's very calm, and the show that's actually not as good as this. And he's very polite. You know, he waits for his turn. He never disrupts anything. He comes here, he does the totally opposite, and it's wrong.
All right, let me pass the mic to go ahead, Kidola.
Okay. I think the problem here is the white South Africans are the one controlling the business. That is the dilemma with other African countries now to deal with South Africa. Nigeria wanted to nationalize MTN. They're looking at it, they're debating about it. It's being owned by white South Africa. The black South Africa don't do business. They don't have no company in other places. The Ghana refused to renew their gold mine. What the white South Africans are doing is this. Everywhere they have business, they ask the government, like, okay, why don't you give visa free, like what they do to Ghana? Why don't they allow Ghana to be coming to South Africa? Because they want Ghana to renew their gold mine. You know, and some of these elite politicians like Ramaphosa have they have interest, money in some of these businesses. So the black South Africans actually, we're looking at them was, sorry to say, they actually don't do business with nothing. They don't have no company investment in any way. And when Mandela came to power, Mandela didn't empower them into businesses. Rather, he started building them these houses, these small shake houses. They gave them $20 as money every month for those that are old and those that think they cannot walk as income for them to be having this money. And now the economy is changing because the black people have taken over this economy. The whites bulletproof their own businesses. And these white businesses, this is where the black Americans are coming into. Because they control the real estate. The blacks, I would believe black America will never ever see a typical black America, black South Africa face to face. Maybe some of these top luxurious hotels where they're eating, maybe they might find some there as Obel or Savas, Bars, whatever it is there. You know, that's what they're not going after. But in that mind, they'll still be looking at them with one funny eye. Who are they? You understand me? So for the Nigerians that are there or others in Zimbabwe who already know what called business, how to compete with the white man. If you cannot go big, go slowly. The black ones in that country, the black South Africans, like the other gentleman said, that the shops are empty, the street is empty, the saloons is empty. There's nothing there because they're not used to it. It will take time, but they have to learn for this immigrant that are there, these black ones, the Zimbabwe especially, who are good into business and everything. You have to learn. In Nigeria here, we have people who are very good work on the POP ceiling. These people come from Togo and Benin. They're full Nigeria. You understand me? We use it there to build our houses because they're very good at design ceilings and everything. You know, but the Nigeria have to step up their game and learn more the Arabic one. If you very expensive, but they have to step up their game and go to other people. You must have to, in the capitalist system, you must have to always perfect your craft. You must have to always say, this thing I'm doing might not last. Let me step ahead. If you cannot do that, even when you drive the migrant up, which the white South Africa will never allow it anyway, because they usually love the Zimbabweans to do their job a lot because they say, oh, the Zimbabwe are very good in walking, they don't drink, they always time and everything. What you see here is that after the immigrants are gone, the South Africa will turn against themselves in these shack towns and villages where they see themselves. It's a pity, but we must pay the South Africa back with their coins, big time. No pity.
Can I just say something? People are forget. I don't get mixed up with one segment of the population. They have millions of South Africans, black South Africans, that are middle class. Some of them are extremely wealthy, own a lot of businesses, right? And then the concentration is in Johannesburg, probably Durban, and one or two other places of the working poor and poor Black South Africans. Right? You have other places like Mapalanga that is full of Black owned businesses, Black working class, middle class, upper middle class, and so forth and so on. So let's not forget about all those set of people. You're talking about only this one segment of the population. There's about 60 million Black people in South Africa. About 60 million, right? So the poor and the working poor, that's where the mix up of the problem comes in. And then the other groups, the other brothers and sisters from other parts of Africa come in, they just come in looking for a better opportunity. And just like any other immigrant, you're going to come in and take whatever job. It doesn't matter what it is, cleaning toilet, it doesn't matter, right? Save a little money. Next thing you know, they open up a little shop here and there and stuff like that. I mean, just that's the way it is, right? So I don't want people to like pour everything down on Black South Africans like they sitting there picking their nose. A lot of these jobs, especially farm jobs, other Black South Africans is not going to take it. I don't really blame them either, because they the one been doing the work for over 100 years, right? Just like African Americans here in America, they the one who's been doing the work. So ask them to go pick some damn orange. Hell no, right? That's all I'm saying.
Let me pass. Go ahead, Edwin. Edwin. I don't know. Edwin, call back. Go ahead, Babaliko. Go ahead, Babaliko.
Yeah, just
Yeah, what's wrong with everybody's Obama phones? Guys, make sure you hit the like button. Please hit that like button. Real quick, guys, if you have not gone, if you're watching this and you have not purchased the documentary is streamed, by the way. Please go to donfo.africa and click documentary. Again, please go to donfo.africa and click documentary.
That's the original documentary? The original one you made?
Yeah, it's my documentary, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so go to documentary, click on documentary, and purchase. I want this to be the #1 Africa diaspora relationships building the bridge documentary ever.
The Mali part is the best part. The Mali is the best part.
Appreciate it. Yeah, so go to documentary, go to donfo.africa, click on documentary, buy the documentary. Also, we're going to Nigeria next month, August 2nd through the 11th. We're going to Zanzibar in September 20th through the 29th. Kenya, September 30th to October 8th. Ghana and Ivory Coast, that's November 8th through the 19th. And Sierra Leone, November 20th to 29th. And we're doing Benin, January 4th through the 13th. So if you're interested in joining, please visit donfo.africa. Please visit donfo.africa to learn more. All right, let me bring Edwin on. Go ahead, Edwin. Edwin, we can't hear you, Edwin. Edwin. Yeah, we can't hear you, Edwin. All right, go ahead, Babaliko, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry about that. My hand hit. Tanaka, just make some sense what he was just saying there as well. But also, Tanaka, we gotta give the government some hard lash too, because these people are voting for change every 4 or 5 years. They vote the same people over and over and over again, and the same hardship goes over and over and over again. So the ANC government has really destroyed that country. Everybody has been stealing. Ramaphosa has been stealing. Zuma has been, all of them has been stealing and not doing anything in the country. So we got to give the government the biggest blames of it all. One guy was saying, I think he was on here last week or two, and he's saying, yeah, he was saying Zuma let's vote back for Zuma. The same guy that was there that didn't do nothing. You want to vote back Zuma. So this is the problem with some of these South Africans. They keep on voting for the same people that did nothing for them. And that's the problem with them. They're not going to vote for Malema because they say Malema love immigrants. So they're not going to vote for him. Somebody who I think will really help Africa and help them in the right way. So you have to give the government a big L on their part. Ramaphosa, all he does is lie. He just come up there and smile with his fake laugh and sit here and smile and do nothing. Because, South Africans in the street beating up people, that should never happen. Ramaphosa should have shut that down. He should have put out the army, the police, and stopped that ASAP. So that you got to give ANC the biggest L of all. And watch. Next election, they're going to vote them again. Watch. So it's their problem. They got to fix that problem. Thank you. I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, just a quick one. I mean, South Africa, the Democratic Alliance is behind this, and obviously we know the party that's is that Ramaphosa is on. They're struggling. They have to build an alliance, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, Ramaphosa. So basically, it's just a game, and they're waiting. It's a long waiting game. They're actually worried that DA is going to take over. The day the Democratic Alliance is going to rule that country, they will go back to apartheid. Take it from me. And it's going to happen because what they would do, they would trick these local Africans to actually become xenophobic. They're gonna lure them in. Oh, look, the Africans are your problem. The otherism, we call it the otherism. Always the other people is your problem, not. So they're pointing fingers, over there while they got their hands in the cookie jar. They always play this game in Africa. They set one group against another because we're weak. We're highly divided people. We actually always will find a reason to, as Dan is saying, if you bring a show here, to bring unity, you hardly see anyone turning up. Well, if it's a divisive topic, you see them all running. They couldn't wait to come and
In
to
Africa,
represent them.
in
Yeah.
Africa, you know that too. That South Africa,
Mm.
all the mines in South Africa are privatized. So it's only an elite
Exactly.
class of Black South Africans that got the resource. The majority is the white South African. But that's why you ever notice that every time elections come, this always happens around election time. Every single time.
Mhm. And South Africa, you lived there, didn't you, Lance?
Yeah, I went
Or you
there, and
been?
and my wife is South African too. So
Okay. There you go.
But what you see now is that the white people are very clever. They did join it to protest. What the white people will tell you that we told you these black South Africans, they're liars, they ain't good for nothing. Then with the black South Africans, the other South Africans would never want to have any sympathy with them, if we will have anything to do with them, because they have already seen their evilness and everything. So they would just prefer to deal with the white man. And the white man, they're the one having businesses investing in other African countries. I've never seen black South Africa investment in any way. You understand me? So
Right.
that's how I told you. That's how I told you the dilemma with West Africans now, how to deal with South Africa, but the white people say, sorry, we were not there. It's your people, your brothers are the one protesting. So in a way, they make it in a perfect way. You hate the black South Africans, which is now is already established. 2008 was like, okay, they're crazy. So still, okay, now the whole of Africa is getting enough from them. If they ever look at Mozambique, see the way they chase those ladies away, for that result. But Mozambique was asked to get out of this place. Mozambique police was there. It just stopped them. So you look at even Lesotho. I think Zimbabwe will really go after them if they have the opportunity. So now the black South Africans are kind of like he goats that being driven off because they smell. And there are some casualties that will follow up. Collateral, some other ones who didn't really join them. And everybody I will be looking at them. No, you South Africa, go man. Don't know what to do with you.
Ola, what worried me really, Ola, sorry if I cut you off. What really worried me about South Africa, the generation now, who are doing this, I don't think they actually witness apartheid. And people like this are very easy to be swayed by the minority elites who are doing this. And most of them are online. We know at the moment xenophobia and racism or the far right or the otherism is being fueled by the big platform owners, the big tech company like owners like Elon Musk, for example. He's a number one guy. I mean, if Elon Musk will be able to penetrate in the UK and infiltrate the UK population, come on, South Africa is just a minute problem for him, and it will happen.
You
And
want to know what's interesting?
no, no,
I see. You want to know what's interesting too?
yeah,
Recently the U.S.
yeah,
ambassador in South Africa met with the people from Afro Forum. Those are
yeah.
white Afrikaners. They're in the back
Okay,
room, shaking hands, smiling. So that should tell you something.
exactly. And the thing is, there's a guy called in the UK. There's a guy called Tommy Robinson. Okay, you guys probably heard of him. He's a guy that shut London now with millions of people marching. He have managed to move the population to the right. About 2 weeks ago, he was pictured with Elon Musk's father. He went to visit him, and people been saying. And in fact, it's not even secret. There was one of the time when he had his massive rally in London. Elon Musk actually ran live. He was on the wide live, big, wide on the TV. He was actually talking to the crowd. These people are sponsoring extreme rights, ultra rights wing, people in Europe and America, and he's penetrating into South Africa because he wants South Africa, and he wants to make sure Starlink is accepted in South Africa without having a black South African who actually have any share into the company. Because according to their law, you have to have a local who will have certain percentage of the company. Otherwise, you can't have it. And he said it's a racist policy. And we know for a fact he was behind the election of Donald Trump. So these things are all, happening. And we know for a fact he is actually indirectly behind, you know, the loss of our current prime minister who is going to resign in the UK because he actually failed all this.
Yeah.
So African people, are they mentally sophisticated enough to understand these things? No, they don't. They hardly understand what slavery was. They hardly understand what is, racism, on the global scale is. They hardly understand how these people operate, when it comes to institutional racism, covert racism, and so on. So, to deal with, this sort of issue, I blame our leaders because they're not educating our population enough. And this is why I said long time ago, why are Africans not educating, the local kids in school about history, about the global affairs? Because kids in this country, even the kids in the primary school know about global affairs. They know about politics. But the average kid in Africa, all they do is probably read about maths, English, and social studies and so on. They know nothing about what's going on in the global world. And things like that is very important.
Yeah, but that's
Because
by design, Africa. That's by
yeah,
design.
yeah, yeah. I
And
mean, we,
Tanaka, the Zulu is standby. You see, what you see in South Africa today, the Zulu is the standby being used by the white people in all the states. If you check South Africa, all the right to say today is being made by the Zulu. The Zulu will also be used to challenge Mandela at one particular point, even before he was even free, or even before he became independent. So what you see today now, that the richest man on earth can easily use the Zulus to destabilize South Africa. So I'm not saying it's every South African, but the Zulus are the ones, are the standby ones being used today to do this, what you see, to unaliving people, beating people, and everything. It's the Zulus. It's not nobody else. That's just the
But
truth.
the last president was a Zulu, no? Wasn't the last president a Zulu?
I don't know,
It was
but
Zulu.
they have,
Yeah, Zuma is
It's a
a
Zulu
Zulu.
guy.
Yeah.
It's a Zulu
And
guy.
I want everybody to see too. Everybody take a look and see how Donald Trump run when he's saying was when these white South Africans was so called being massacred. How he run and bring those out. Say, come, you could come to America and see how these blacks was being treated and didn't say a word. Didn't offer no help. So I want everybody to take a look. All those people who said they voted for this guy, these Republicans, these fake Republicans too. Okay? Because they're just like the Democrats. All of them is in the same boat. They're no good. Okay? I want everybody to see how not one word from them Republicans on what was going on there in thing. But when this fake thing came up with this crime, white people being slaughtered in South Africa, these lies, and they bring all of them over here. So I want people to take a good look and see how these things be going on. So when y'all be saying about y'all not black and this one not black and all this, watch how white people come together and support their own. I just want everybody to take a look at that.
Well, I don't know about that, bro, because the white folks here in the U.S., they don't like them. Okay, and matter of fact, most of the South Africans, they already went back home.
Yeah, but they didn't go back home because whites didn't like them. They went back home because they realized, wait,
right,
exactly. South Africa I have a better chance in South Africa. I have a better way.
Tahaka and Babaliko. I in my line of work, right? In the last 5 years, I met about at least 7 South Africans, right? Where by working to different, I basically when I go to different companies, I met 7 South Africans over the last 5 years, and I spoke to about 3 of them. I used to speak to them regularly. These are Africans, okay? And the last one was Josh. I mean, you speak to them, they're like, "Oh yeah, South Africa is bad. It's terrible country, and this." And they come back later, like a year or a few months later, you ask for them, they're like, "Oh, he left. What happened?"
They're gone.
He's gone back to South Africa. They're going back to South Africa. They cannot stay here.
They're living like kings and queens.
Exactly, the privilege that they have in their country, they cannot have that over. Exactly. So this is it. This is it. And these people who die for that. Listen, these people will not. They will fight to the last drop of their blood before they leave that land. Called South Africa.
That's true.
They will not give it up easy. And the black South Africans know that. And they will not. The black South Africans don't have any strategy. That's their problem. And they've been battered. They've been battered and battered. As I said earlier, this future generation of the black South Africans, they haven't witnessed what their parents did or their great-grandparents did. So it's a big worry. It's worrisome because their parents or their grandparents that witnessed apartheid, they know how dangerous and how bad it is and how terrible it was. So these people were different. For this generation now,
that's why that they know that the Europeans stand beside them and the United States stand beside them too.
Europe. Yeah, the Europeans are they're quietly divided with South Africa. And the reason why they do is because they expose European ideology. Europeans like to be racist, but they like to do it covertly. They don't like to be obvious about it because their corporations, will struggle in a lot of these countries in the modern day. Like in Africa, when they're going to seek mining contracts or stuff like that, they like to look good on the book, especially those white liberals. Okay. But the South African exposed that. This is why they don't like Donald Trump. Europeans don't like Donald Trump for that reason. Trump will come out and make it look obvious, okay? And like today, there's a guy I was speaking to, an English guy. He said Donald Trump is a white supremacist, and I looked at him. He's an English guy, and this guy is not a left.
Hey, guys, we got a new caller. Let me pass the mic to Justin. Go ahead, Justin.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of respond to the topic that I wish I could see right now. I think it says why Black Americans what? If I could see it. Back to the chat. Don't have to leave. Yeah. I don't know. I just think this whole South African thing, I kind of understand it. You can kind of tell that I was born and raised in America, but my family's from Nigeria. And one thing I've noticed about a lot of Nigerians is that we just tend to be very disrespectful. We tend to go to places, and we tend to do pretty well financially. We tend to be educated and do well. But we tend to shit on people who aren't doing as good as we are. And it's because we come from this bully culture. Because in Nigeria, it's kind of like the strongest survives. and bullying is kind of embraced as a cultural identity. Like, you know, this kind of toughest person, you know, kind of mindset. And I think that has a huge impact on why this whole South African thing is happening, to be honest. And I think, you know, when they talk about, oh, they sell drugs and they do this stuff, the Nigerians are doing all this stuff, I'm like, obviously we don't do that in the same level as probably a Black South African would statistically, but I think that comes from a place of them feeling like we act like we're perfect. We got all our shit together, you know, and they're coming out and saying, actually, you guys do this and this and that and that, you know. And I think a lot of it also has to do with white people. I think a lot of white people in South Africa feel like they're losing control of their economy. They're losing control of their society. There's a society that they grew up understanding, and they feel like South Africa's Africanizing. There's a lot of African migrants that are coming and living there. And I think that makes a lot of white people uncomfortable, and especially some of these Nigerians and Ghanaians that are coming in there with all their education, buying up properties in Cape Town, living in their white neighborhoods and making it Black. And, you know, they don't want to deal with that, you know, and I think that has a huge impact on it. Same thing in America, same thing all over the world. You know, when you are an indigenous person, or you're a person who's been in a specific place for a long time, and then these other people out of nowhere come and try to compete with you, and they're actually competing with you financially, and then they're talking shit and being disrespectful, I mean, you're gonna at some point kick their ass out, right? So I think that's like a huge part of it, in my personal opinion. And I think a little bit too, like Elon Musk, he's having a whole issue with South Africa where he's always talking about how racist South Africa is, and I think it's just stupid. I think it's dumb. You know, he's just mad that, you know, they don't have the same level of support, like the white people and the white economy. They don't have that same level of control economically that they are used to having. And a lot of it is because of these African migrants that are coming there and doing well, you know. So a lot of that, I think there's so much just mixed up into it that's creating that kind of thing. And Black Americans aren't really a part of that because of their history and what they've gone through. There's a lot of similarities between them and a lot of South Africans, and their mindset coming over. First of all, if you're a Black American and you come to Africa, you have money. You're not someone that's broke. You have to have a lot of money. You're probably doing very well in America. So you're not coming there as kind of like a financial migrant that's setting up one kind of small shop in the corner somewhere. You're probably doing something big, probably buying a lot of real
True
estate.
for most,
Probably
true for
setting up
most, but
huge.
not all. They got some
Well, I'm
regular
just
Black
speaking on
folks that
that.
move there.
And
I'm just speaking on average.
you say the
I don't like to
disrespecting the
speak
South
in.
African? You say the
Yeah, I think a lot
disrespecting
of
the South
Nigerians
African?
do. I think so. Hell yeah.
So those people are selling on the
Because
streets
it's
who have the stores. You say those people are disrespecting the South Africans. That's why they kick
hell
them out?
yeah.
That's nonsense,
I
man.
know
Come
my
on.
people. I know my people.
No, but
We
he's speaking
prideful
it
as
back.
hell.
Listen, you guys don't know what this guy is
Nigerians
talking
are
about.
very
He's right.
prideful.
Yeah,
I
He's
know my
right.
people.
I
Oh my
had
Why
to
did
gosh.
he?
He's
Why
right.
did
agree with.
Africa?
Listen,
Why
And I
did he
think
go
that's a
to?
huge
Why
problem
did
with
he go to
Nigerians.
Africa
It's
to
like
build
we
a
don't
store?
know how to live
Baba
our
Look,
lives
Liko,
look.
Why did he go
sometimes,
to
you know.
Africa to build a
Babaliko,
store, sell on the streets to disrespect
Baba
South
Liko,
the
Africans?
man is
That
right.
don't make no
The
sense.
man is right.
Yeah.
Baba Liko, right? To be fair, right? Not trying to paint no one, not generalizing anyone, right? But whatever country you go to, for example, in Cambodia, everybody remember what happened in Cambodia, right? They had that love rumor thing, which they were the scam. They were scamming like people from the United States or in
Yeah,
Cambodia, whatever. Who got arrested
yeah.
over there? It was mostly Nigerians that got arrested over there.
Nigerians. Look, but
So,
Mali that we speak, Mali, the war zone, the so-called war zone of West Africa, as we speak, don't take my word for it, there's over 2,000 Nigerians, women and children in prison right now as we speak. And these people were
You
brought
said
there by
children? You said children?
No,
women's,
Africa, you gotta bring
and
facts. You gotta. Where was
You
that?
said
do you want me
women
Where's
and
the
to
facts
post the
on
children
that?
link? Do you want me to
in
post the
jail?
link for you? Do you
Where's
want me
the
to post
facts
the
on
link?
that, Africa?
I'll post the link. Do you want me to? Do you want to bet me on that now? I'll post the link.
Pause the link. Let me see.
Because what you guys are saying is Nigeria is going all over the continent causing trouble. That's what you're saying. That's what you guys are saying.
Hold on.
Well,
Stay
that's
there.
where I
I'll come back.
disagree. I don't think
I'll come back.
Nigerians are going all across the country causing trouble. Statistically speaking, if you look at data, we're mostly educated.
But just,
We're
but,
mostly
but just
opening up
think,
businesses.
but just think,
I think
but my question,
it's the
just think, my question to you
disrespect
is,
and
right?
stuff like that. I think that's most of it.
But just
When
think,
you talk about Nigeria, causing trouble is this. You can say that whatever someone talk about the drug. Do you know how many Chinese they arrest in Nigeria with fake telephones and doing scamming?
Very true.
Philippines and everything. Do you know how many? A lot of them they caught in Nigeria. Even in America, you see, there was a white man in Texas who were pretending to be Nigeria but scamming people. You know what I mean? So you talk about look, my bro, I sit somewhere in Europe, right? When I was sitting there eating fries with chicken in that place, I'm talking about in Holland now. You know, I was sitting eating fries with chicken. There was this guy that came in, the Cameroonian guy, right? The job that he was doing, when I hear he was doing, I thought this was illegal. Who was this? He said he was claiming to be in Nigeria. I mean, my wife was just eating.
Babaliko, if Dennis is happy, Dennis, if I post the link, would you play it?
No, well, somebody said they want to bet something, so go ahead. Let's place the bets.
Play.
But let's play. Well, somebody said they want to bet, so let's place the bets.
You
Listen,
said 2 million, over 2 million.
Ain't no getting out the bet.
No, I didn't say two. I said 2,000. 2,000.
But Africa.
How much is that in US?
Oh, I thought you said 2 million people was in jail in Mali.
No.
Oh, he didn't say no damn 2 million. Oh, here we go. Oh, see, here we go. I swear, when it's time to bet money, if y'all just get amnesia, y'all forget.
Babaliko, I've been here for
Africa.
No, I don't mind spending money. That's nothing to me. But I thought it's really that what you said. But
say 2 million.
What about we should have children in jail.
Look, Babaliko, listen.
Yeah.
I defend Nigerians when I need to.
Yeah.
I'll oppose them when I need to. I don't know.
Africa. Where is the is it Western media? Is this coming from Western media?
No. This is even the Nigerian president
and people got to understand.
So you said they have children. You said children. What are children doing in
jail? Basically, the women were sent there. The women were sent there, to do some dirty work with their kids. Okay, and then
is Mali?
Like Mali, it's Mali. You can Google it, Diners. It's there.
People got to understand something about Nigeria. Nigeria has a large Muslim population that are nomadic
in the north.
No, these are Igbos. Listen, these are specifically Igbos.
So a lot of northerners live in Mali.
No. My friend.
I'm gonna have to
Go ahead, Miss Maya. Go ahead, Maya.
Okay.
These are majority Igbo tribe, not northerners. They're from Igbo ethnic group, to be specific.
Igbos are not in Mali.
Hold on. Let Maya speak. Go ahead, Maya.
Come on now.
Yeah,
let's not emphasize this.
Make a comment to Just Think and also to Raymond Shepard 3145 in the chat. First, I'd like to begin with Just Think on Nigeria. And there is just something that I would just like all countries within the African continent to think about, especially when it comes to Black Americans. The baby boomer generation, who is about to die off in the next 10 to 20 years, they are going to transfer close to $1.5 to $2 trillion.
Miss Maya, Miss Maya, I'm so sorry for cutting. In fact, go ahead and finish. I have a question about this boomer statistic, but go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, to the next generation. Now, depending upon the stock market and the value of the assets, it could be, more or less. And so my question to those of you who live in Africa right now, Black Americans, they are going to come into a significant amount of money, and they're going to need a place to invest their money. And right now, and I don't wish to be judgmental, but just think, I have to say, I would never invest in Nigeria. Based
A
upon
lot of Nigerians wouldn't either. You're not the only one.
So what
I'm not
about
I'm
all the
not mad
white
at it.
people, the Chinese and Pakistan and Syrians
A
and
lot of
Lebanese?
Nigerians don't
And
invest in Nigeria either.
you guys hear what I'm
How do you
saying?
know?
What
Hold on,
about the
hold on,
other
hold on,
people
hold
that's
on, hold on,
investing?
hold on.
She's not finished. Go ahead, Maya.
This is my personal opinion, and I have parents who are retired from the government. They have pensions, and they also have stocks and bonds and other assets, which is going to transfer to me and my siblings. And so when we get those funds, we want to invest them for the next, to pass it down to the next generation. We have generational wealth on our minds. And so what is it that you all can do to improve your situation, to inspire confidence in Black Americans to invest money that is about to be handed down from the baby boomer generation? Because I don't think you all realize what an opportunity this is and can be for you all. And so I'll let you all answer that, and then I want to
Madam,
address
let me go.
I mean,
Let me go.
she's
Madam,
completely right. Yeah, Kenny,
madam,
we need to do a
madam, let me
better
just tell
job.
you. Hold on. Let me tell you this, madam.
We need to do a better
I hear
job of
that. I
making
hear this guy
Nigeria
called Justice.
look
Hold
like
on.
a
Bro,
I
investment
let
shut
this
up,
guy
let
country.
the
Bro,
just.
guy
Mike,
talk,
let
man.
Ola speak. Let Ola speak,
I
man.
let. I
But
let
she
this guy
addressed it
just
to
think.
me.
Oh, it's not against for you.
She said
You are the kind of
everybody.
one. Hold
Well, I mean,
on.
she
I was thinking
mentioned me
before you.
first, to be
I was thinking
clear.
before you. This guy said
I don't know.
Nigeria is not investing in Nigeria, which is fucking lie. I live in Nigeria.
I didn't say
You hear
that.
me? Hold on. I live in
Not what I
Nigeria.
said.
Every day here, a lot of multi-millionaires have been created here. Either in real
I
estate,
agree with
or yeah,
you.
hold
We
on, or yeah,
agree.
gas
We
businesses, tech,
agree.
and everything. Who
Ola,
are
we
you? You
agree.
come. Hold on.
We agree.
You look like a very slow guy.
Ola,
I don't know
we
where you stay.
agree,
If you like
bro.
living in America, I
I
live in
agree
Europe
with
all the
you.
years of my life. I even married to a white woman. They even
Are
have
you
investment
angry
here.
at you're angry
This
at something
idiot
I
guy
didn't
come
say?
here. This idiot guy come say Nigeria don't even invest in Nigeria, which is a very big
I
lie.
agree.
Very, very
I
big
agree
lie.
with you.
Hey,
I
hey, just
agree
You're
check.
with
very,
you.
stop this
I
lie.
need a
Ola,
lot
be
of
I
nice.
respect for
Ola, be
agree.
nice to
Nigeria,
him.
though.
We don't
Ola, be
Lot of
nice to
respect.
him.
disagree.
He
For
agree with
everybody.
you, Ola. He agree with
We
you.
don't
Be nice to him, man.
disagree. I didn't say yeah. I just said some Nigerians don't
Which
believe in
with
investing. So
shopping
I
money
agree.
here, come here be talking nonsense. They don't invest in Nigeria. All the big shopping mall,
I
the
never said
Shoprite is big
that.
kick out.
That's not what
Shoprite is
I
big kick out
said.
by Nigeria. MTN now we try to kick MTN out so that it would be
I
localized
agree.
network system.
We agree.
You come here be talking lies. Stop it, bro.
I
Like
never
Nigeria don't beg
lied.
for handouts. We don't beg for
I
handouts.
never I
We
never
go straight for it.
lied. I never lied.
Yeah,
Hold on,
you
let me
can't
say
blame
this.
Nigeria for
You just
everything,
did
man. That's
you
ridiculous.
just didn't listen to what I
Can't
said,
blame
but I never
Nigeria.
lied. I never said
Okay,
this.
yeah, go
Well,
on.
guy, let Just Think respond. Go ahead,
Yes,
Just.
please. Yeah, let him
Yeah, I
respond.
mean she's totally right. Nigeria does not look like a country that many foreigners would want to invest in, to be honest.
Okay, I don't get
And
that, bro. Have you been
I gotta
following the
Well,
finish.
trends?
Chalk, let him finish.
So
Go ahead.
I
Yeah,
gotta
let me
finish what I'm
speak next.
saying.
He don't know anything.
I do. I know a lot. We can disagree.
Finish
It's cool.
speaking. Finish speaking.
And you
Just
gotta
finish
finish
speaking and let
talking.
me talk.
You gotta finish talking, man. So
Finish
I can
speaking, I
speak.
said.
You gotta
But in all
finish
fairness, I
talking.
can
I'm trying
let the man talk,
to
please.
yeah, I'm trying to talk. I can't talk. We can't talk over each other. It doesn't. There's a lot of things that need to happen in the country from a political standpoint. There's a lot of infrastructural development that has to happen in the country. We need to improve security, not just fighting Boko Haram, but just local security, local police. I mean, fire, ambulance response. There's a lot of things. So, I mean, like you said, it's a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity that's going to happen in America, and the African country that's ready to, that's in the best position to take advantage of that money will get it. Right now, it's not Nigeria, to be honest. And I'm not saying that like pridefully or happily. Like I'm a Nigerian person. That doesn't make me happy to say that, but that's the reality. It doesn't mean that people are not investing. Dangote has the largest refinery in the country. They just announced a rare earth mineral refinery that's going to happen in the country.
Exactly.
There's a lot of investments that are happening, but I'm just saying we're not at the level like, you know,
Okay, you done now?
where we should be. You know?
You done?
Yeah, I'm good. You can go, man.
Okay, so I don't know if you keep up on current events, but there are tens of thousands of foreigners investing in Nigeria. Tens of thousands. Chinese, Syrians, Lebanese, about 800,000 Indians live in Nigeria. White, British. You just go on the internet and look at the companies that's there and the people that's investing. Have you done that?
Okay.
Oh, you're asking me?
Are you
Yeah, I'm asking
asking
you, have you done that? Have you see the type of foreigners
I have a
investing
large
there?
farm. I have a business in Nigeria. I got land out there. I have a
Have
farm.
you do the statistical work to see who is investing in there?
100%. There's a lot of big
Okay, so
people
why don't you
investing for
know that?
sure.
Why don't you
I
know
do
that though?
know it. I do
So
know
so
it. I
what
just
what
mentioned
what
some
is
big
the so
investments.
what is your problem? Are you
No, but
talking double
I
talk?
understand where some of
No,
his
it's the
points.
I
lady.
understand
Everything
where
he said,
The
y'all
but
lady
I
said
understand.
agree
she
with
would
some of his
invest.
points.
I,
Yeah,
The
I,
I
lady
agree
I'm
with
not,
said
some
she
of his
would
points.
invest in
Bro,
but
Nigeria.
it's not in the, we can do a lot better. I'm not
of
gonna,
course,
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah,
America
yeah,
could do a lot better. What are you talking about?
yeah.
All right, we got
Everybody
No,
could do a
no,
lot better.
Maya,
no,
hold on.
we
Well, Mike,
can,
hold on.
let's not gaslight.
Maya, did you have a question, Maya? Maya?
Yeah, I just wanted to respond to Taharika. I'm
Taharka.
sorry.
Taharka.
Taharika.
Taharka. You should know that name. It's in the Bible. It's in the Bible, and it's in our ancestral land. Taharka.
Okay.
Egypt.
Okay. Okay. I'm so sorry.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Well, what I just wanted to say is that you are looking at investment from the point of view of an African. I want you to think about investment from the point of view of a Black American and all of the
Well,
amenities.
Maya, I'm
So,
sorry,
but you
Maya.
should
Sorry to
take
cut out.
advantage of that.
Well, no, but Taraka lives in America with us. So but we're
He
all
is
African, but he lives in America with
okay.
us.
But I just want, but we have a very different standard upon which we are going to make the investment. Can we all, does that make sense?
Are
But
you
the other
talking?
folks are doing it, ma'am. The other folks are doing it.
Are you talking in terms of like stocks, bonds, mutual funds, instruments of that sort? That
No, I'm talking about things such as
Ideological.
the country's view towards democracy, safety issues, law and order,
Yeah,
Corruption.
ideological.
Corruption.
Yeah,
infrastructure.
infrastructure. Yeah,
But that's
exactly.
everywhere in Africa,
Corruption.
not from Nigeria. There's
Law and
But
order.
look, I
But
don't know why
Black
you guys
Americans, they're used to
listen.
living in a
Man, we
certain
all have guns
environment,
in our house in America. What are you talking about?
The
so
thing
it's
is,
different.
what you guys don't
not all the
understand
states,
is like
Taraka. Not in all the
what
states.
what what you
Well,
guys
I'll tell
don't.
you what,
I
my
agree with
opinion.
it.
Every
Not in
state.
New York. You can't get out of New York.
My brother
Listen, yeah. If I am to invest in West Africa, look, Nigeria. There are a lot of billionaires in Nigeria. There are a lot of wealth. There are a lot of
Fact.
investments going in
Fact.
Nigeria. That's true. But there are a lot of people in Nigeria. Is about 400 million people, 250 million. Pardon me. Okay, that if you put that population alone, is more than the entire other region of West Africa. So what you guys are talking about, and the poverty, the number of poor people in Nigeria in one region is more than the entire rest of the West African countries. And Nigeria haven't fixed the electricity problem. They still haven't got. I don't think they got a steel plant. I don't think their road network is actually anywhere near the other countries like Senegal, Ivory Coast, and Ghana. And also they don't have clean water. If you check the amount of doctors that
So
they
what do you
have
mean
per
they don't have
person,
clean water?
it's
Oh
ridiculous.
my God.
Ghana.
Clean tap water. Yeah.
Africa. Did you say Ghana?
Africa, I was gonna
No,
say something funny, right?
yeah, go on. Yeah, go on.
Africa, I was gonna say something.
Ghana need a
I'm
lot
gonna
of
say
He's
help
something.
too.
talking about
Massive.
he's talking about pipeline water,
I was gonna say something
which is
funny,
an
right?
issue in Nigeria.
Yeah, go on, Massive.
DeVito
Yeah,
was on Your Leisure, right? And the
yeah.
host was like, "Yo, what can we do to invest in Nigeria?" DeVito goes and says, "He's like, you know what? I would not
Mm.
recommend investing in Nigeria." And he's like,
Yeah.
why? He's like, there's too many problems over there. Listen, I'm a Nigerian, and I'm telling you, don't invest in Nigeria. And that was coming from DeVito himself.
You know why? You know
Yeah.
why? Let me tell you
Yeah.
why. Because his uncle is losing an election, his father benefit into.
So that's not why.
Let me tell you,
Allah, that is not why. The Adeleke family is a very wealthy family. There's not no election, bro. Their family is a
That cannot be the
large,
reason,
wealthy family. That is not the reason. Their
his
fathers are
father become a
billionaires.
billionaire in dollars out of
He come from money.
electricity. Yeah, out of Nigeria pocket. His father didn't become a
Yeah.
billionaire in the United States. His father become a billionaire in Nigeria for when they privatize this electricity. This is so-called NEPA. You
So
understand me?
you would
Now,
expect him to say that they should invest, but he's saying the opposite,
no, because
you would expect that he
himself is
would say invest because his family has been very successful in
no. You know
Nigeria.
why?
But he's
You know why?
saying the
Let's
opposite.
hear what Kadula got to say. Talk, man.
No,
Let me hear you.
You people are deaf, boy. I'm telling you. Some of you people are deaf.
Tinubu is not into his the president of Nigeria today and his father or his uncle. They are not politically
They
in
are
good terms.
politically aligned. Yes, they are.
No, they're not in
They
good terms.
are. They
His
are on
uncle
good terms. He just supported his candidacy for 2027.
Hold on. His uncle might lose the next election. So
His
now it's
uncle's
going
not
to
losing the
everywhere.
next election because he just promoted Tinubu. Why are you
Talking.
lying,
Look,
Ola?
hold on. Let me tell you this, bro. Look, I don't live in the United States. Let me tell you this.
Ola, you don't have to lie, man.
Hold on. You say you have business here, right? You have business in Nigeria. I live here in Nigeria, right?
Olu's
I pay, hold on. I pay 30. Hold on. I pay 30,000 naira.
Tinubu.
Hold on. Hey, I don't like a size small talk that doesn't mean nothing. I pay 35,000 naira for my wife here. You know what I'm saying? I live here, right? If you come out, you want to hustle, right? You don't only hustle with Nigerian people alone. Even Chinese people into real estate right now in Nigeria. You understand me? Chinese, they're into real estate right now in Nigeria. You know, you see the Indians, you see the Pakistanis,
and this
even
is
to
why Nigeria
I want to respond. I want to respond to my brother
the...
from Nigeria. Hey, my brother, listen, right? Did you know that Uber, when they first came out, right? They told the people from Nigeria to drive Uber, right? So you know what happened? And Nigeria is very smart. So check this out, right? So what they were doing was they'll turn the app on, right? They'll create another account and pretend that they were that person to go pick up, and then they would drive home and click off with how they got paid. So there's again like a mad incentives. When Uber found out about it, they canceled it, right? And then Netflix went and Netflix
We still
came
have Uber in Nigeria, though.
No. I'm not saying that they still. I'm just saying that happened in the beginning. They came out and then they came back, and then Netflix was investing in the Nollywood thing over there, right? But the problem was that the money they were getting, they wasn't using that much money for the Netflix thing, so the movies were low quality. And then Netflix went and canceled their agreement with Nigeria.
Contract. Okay. I mean, the Nollywood, that's one industry that's gonna get bigger. I think Nollywood will be the biggest in one of the biggest in the world.
That's the issue.
You know, if Nigeria can have a bit of investment in Nollywood, I think that would take
Nigeria is
like
scared that
quicker than any other.
If you allow some of these big companies to take over like Netflix, everything, we have fed them, and what they have to do, they have to manage, conquer their own, bulletproof what they have. You understand me? What this guy is saying that he doesn't really understand is this. When they brought ShopRite, look, this MTN of a thing you see today, where Glo was begging Obasanjo allowed South Africa to penetrate Nigeria. You understand me? When
he's a useless guy. He's one of the worst presidents, I think. He's a useless guy.
Let MTN go. Let MTN go. Obasanjo told banks in Nigeria they should not borrow Nigeria investors to invest on telecommunications so that MTN would dominate Nigeria. What happened? So billionaires organized themselves, kick into the whole game. That's how Glo came to, Glo came. And now, with this problem now,
Obasanjo privatized everything, didn't they?
now we want to see people can kick MTN out let's come with our own one, so that we can dominate that zone and spread it to other West Africans. You understand me? So if people are investing a lot in Nigeria, my brother, this guy just say this thing. We have a lot. Depend what you want to do. We have a lot of investment here.
Hold up, the numbers will
If you do it
show
well,
we're only
if you do
growing
it
at like
well, you know,
3% a
look,
year.
look. There's no investment that is risk free. Every investment is look. They say that every businessman is a criminal, because there's no businessman that will tell you the truth. I want to make money.
You know what will work is if we like fix the roads and fix the light.
But why do you have a business there anyway? Why did you invest there?
We also have
I'm
people in the
Nigerian.
far west. We want,
Yeah, but why did you invest there? It's a terrible place. So why you invest there? I don't get it.
I'm Nigerian.
But it's his country. That's where he's from. He's Nigerian. You know what he told you? Why are you asking him that?
Where is he from in Nigeria? First of all, where are you from in Nigeria? Which part are you from in Nigeria? I'm from Edo State. Where are you from in Nigeria?
I'm from the southeast.
So why are you telling people not to invest here if you did?
This is a Biafra guy. This guy is a Biafra guy. This guy is a Biafra guy. This guy came.
I'm not advocating.
This guy is a Biafra guy. You know, look, you are the people spoiling our name. You are your people who are the ones going to South Africa spoiling our name.
What do you want people to do? Invest there or don't invest there?
That's a crazy statement.
Tell the lady what you want to do.
You just came out of nowhere and showed your whole ass.
You Igbo people are the ones spoiling Nigeria.
You're making yourself look bad.
No, you Igbo people. You Igbo people, you come in with I know you come with
all right, guys, let's stop with the tribalism. Listen, let's stop with the tribalism. Let's stop with the tribalism.
Come on now. Go ahead. Let's stop the tribalism, man.
Yeah, but you gotta tell us. You gotta tell the lady. Tell the lady if she should invest there or not.
I agree with that.
Tell the lady if she should invest there or not.
If she said no, in Nigeria?
She said no, she will not invest in Nigeria.
You tell her.
No, she's the one that said that. She's the one that said that.
And I was told the same thing about some other Nigerians too. They told me
she said that she doesn't want to. She's the one that said that it doesn't look like an investment opportunity. I agree.
Right. So you guys missed the part where I said there's tens of thousands of people investing there. So I mean, if they could do it, why can't you?
I never said that they couldn't.
Okay, so what's the problem, bro? You're confused.
That's what I'm saying.
Are you sure not
I'm not confused.
Are you an AI?
You're not listening. You're just not listening to what I'm saying. I said I can see where she's coming from. That's what I said. I can see why she would say that. I'm not necessarily disagreeing with her. And I'm saying that Nigeria can improve. I don't understand.
Everywhere could improve.
No, but we can improve more. I don't like
Madam,
invest
in Nigeria. Let me answer the lady.
But we can. I get it, but that's
the lady asked a question.
Let her speak. Go ahead, Maya, Miss Maya.
Yeah. This was a very interesting conversation. It kind of proved my point. And all I wanted to say is that there is a true opportunity for the continent of Africa to really become financially independent and also to improve their financial situation. And, so this wealth transfer, and it is going to happen within 1 or 2 decades. And Black Americans, they're going to look for a place to put their money. And most of them, I would love to invest, in Africa. But if I can't, what I sense happening is the money is either going to stay in America or people are going to go either to Central or South America.
Ma'am, there's 54 countries in Africa. So if you don't like Nigeria, do another one. What's the big deal?
If I can interject.
Give me another country in which I can go.
Miss Maya, have you been to Kenya before?
There is Botswana. There is Namibia.
I'm talking. Miss Maya, have you been to Kenya before?
And I will look them up. Go ahead.
Well, Miss Maya, I just asked you a question. Have you been to Kenya before?
No, but I would love to go.
Which countries have you been to in Africa?
Well, I'm ex-military, so I've been all over Europe. And
I said Africa, ma'am. I said
Africa. None of them.
Okay, but Miss Maya, do me a favor. Email me your contact information. I'm gonna put my email.
This is literally what he does.
Email me your contact information. We could have a conversation offline.
Set a
Madam,
picture with search for
Madam, an
Uhuru
African
for soap.
that live in Africa. I will tell you.
Hold on. Ms. Maya, you see my email address on the screen?
Hello at danfo.africa.
Yeah, send me an email, include your
He
phone number,
literally
and I'll
does
call
Africa
you.
to us.
I'm talking. Don't talk over. Okay, and I'll email you. I'll call you. Like, so email me and I'll call you.
Okay.
Madam, let's
Look,
assume.
yeah,
Hold
all right.
on. Let me give
Okay,
it
all right,
about Nigeria
no
case,
problem.
right? Madam,
Okay.
I will advise you, right? In Nigeria case, investing in Nigeria, you have to study it pretty good. Because Nigeria investment something can be very complicated if you're not on the ground, if you're not well studied, or what you put your money on. You understand me? Why I say something like that is because there are a lot of things you will see, you might not actually know what was going to be your profit and what's going to be the outcome of it. So me that live in Nigeria, I might be prone to take any hit, right? But I can see danger when I smell danger. But you might not be able to do that. So you have to meet people in other countries that have, like what Dan has told you. I think is more traveling around. It's partly Nigerian. For me to invest with anybody nowadays, I'm mostly eating my money from the Northerners. I don't deal with Igbo people at all. I more do business with the Northerners. A lot of business I do with the Northerners. With the
This is where
Northerners.
Dinah's gone wrong in Africa. You will learn a
Ola,
lesson
she's
one day,
not about
Dinah.
to come to Nigeria listening to you, bro.
Ola, go on, Ola.
So I do more business with the Northerners, right? In everything that I'm doing. I do with Yoruba. But I've tried with the Igbo people, I almost get my hand burnt. You understand me? So I don't do
Ola,
nothing with them at
you're making it
all.
worse.
You
Ola, you're
understand me? I
making it
don't near
worse,
them. I
man.
don't near them at all. You get what I'm
She should
saying?
go to she should
But
travel to
there's a couple
Kenya.
million people
that is,
live in the north, though.
You know,
There's a couple
she should
million
travel
people
to
live in the
Kenya.
north.
the northern businessmen, they're in Lagos also. They're everywhere. They are far the most honest people you will deal with. You understand me? The northerns can borrow you some liquidity, make business, and you give it to them, right? They are not so as greedy as from the southeast. I've do business with the southeast once. Man, it was
Can I
like
ask you
a
can I
hell.
ask you a question?
Yeah.
Let me ask something. In Kanu, Kanu, right? Kanu.
Yeah.
Is it true? I saw this in the video. I'm not sure if it's true. Is it true that in the business marketplace, when they like when it's prayer time, the people could leave their store open, and their money exposed, and no one would take it? Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those people are very.
They have a high
I love
level of morality.
I love the northern people. They are very they are like that. And you have to understand the northern people, they have more money and their business in the north. Kano is very big economical zone. Very, very big. You understand me? So when you deal with them, you also have to be truthful with them. When you come truthful with them, they really know you. They can borrow people like us that are from the minority. We can easily talk to them. They can borrow some kind of liquidity, or they can give you some kind of mini contract. You understand me? To build some charities. You make your money, and they become doing things with you like that. You understand me? But that's why I said for you to come to Nigeria, you have to study it. You understand me? Know what you're doing, because Nigeria can be very funny. You understand me? This guy that is speaking, I'm not lying about this.
Or you can just
Ola,
go to a
did
different
Kano,
country.
then one Kano state, apparently is that true also, Ola, that one Kano state have the richest three richest Nigerians? That's where most of the rich, that's why the richest
Because
Nigerian Kano state, the Hausa Fulani Northern.
Kano money is huge. You understand me? We'll call the
Is
Arwas.
Dangote
Their
from
money
Kano
is huge.
Question.
Sorry?
They're the billionaires. The
Go ahead with your question, Miss Maya. Go ahead with your question.
Oh, I didn't want to interrupt him. Have him.
No. Go ahead, Maya. Go ahead, Maya. Miss Maya.
Okay. Yeah, I guess my hesitation about investing is because here in the United States, there are contract enforcement laws that if someone doesn't uphold their end of the contract, there is a way that I
So
can.
Miss Maya, if I can interject. So number one, let me give this disclaimer. This is not financial advice. Please do your own
Of course.
research. I think how you're getting to the weeds, like no one on this panel is qualified to answer certain questions.
Yeah.
So that's why I said send me a email with your contact
Okay.
information, and then we can have a whole. Because I didn't want this topic to be about investment. Because again, I don't. You know, it can get muddy. So again, email me your contact information, and we can have a conversation about pointing you into the right direction. But again, still do your own research and diligence.
Sir, I understand, and I don't wish to hijack your podcast.
Dennis,
No,
you need to have
I'm not saying
your
I'm not
lawyer
saying you're
friend
not
on.
hijacking, but what I'm saying is no one on this panel is qualified to really get into the weeds when it comes to your boomer money. That's what I'm saying.
Dennis, you need to bring back your lawyer friend back on.
Well, that's what I'm trying to tell Ms. Maya. Like, there's certain people who I know who are more equipped to have this conversation, and that's why I'm saying email me your contact information, and then we can have a conversation where, like, prime example, I had a lady that came on, who comes on from Kenya. She is more versed and able to have the investment conversation than us. That's what I'm trying to say. So, you know, when you get into the legalese, and now you were saying, you know, the contract language, like we're not here to do that because we don't know.
Okay.
That's true.
So that's what I'm saying. Email me your.
If I hijacked or I.
Well, you didn't hijack anything. I'm just saying, if you're sincerely interested, send me an email, include your phone number, and I could point you into the right direction. Because just to be honest, we've been down this route before years ago, and it went terribly. So that's why I'm just saying, like, you know, this is not an investment platform per se. And when we discuss investments, I want to have the right people on, so there'll be a throat to choke. So there'll be a throat to choke, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm saying. Email me your phone number and your contact information, and then we could have this conversation.
No, I do understand that.
Very good point. Very good point. Hey, Dennis, I just know 1 and 1 is 2, right? So if I see thousands of crackers in Nigeria and Africa, Chinese and all that invented, I'm just saying, well, wait a minute. What they don't know? Okay, well, let me make a mistake then. You see what I'm saying? So if they could do it, why can't anybody else do it? That's all I'm saying. That's all I see it.
Yeah.
Well, there are. Listen,
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Taka, why didn't you go to Nigeria, bro? If Nigeria,
you know, if I 100%, yeah, I'm gonna tell you that right now. I told that it's the only country I will live in.
Okay.
In Africa, it's the only country I will live in. I know why.
We will help you out, bro. If you want to do that,
send your money my way, all right? Because I will definitely go. I'm good. I'm Jamaican. I'm used to chaos.
You know what? I think Nigeria is a business hub of West Africa. There's no doubt about that. But there's a lot of gaps. There are a lot of things that need to improve. I think Nigeria is the India of Africa. This is how to put it down. Places like Senegal, Ivory Coast, are more like the Germany or the Switzerland or West Africa. This is how I see it.
So
and Ghana is in between to me, because Ghana is only like Accra that's developed. Outside of Accra is
like I said, if all these other people,
if you're African American, like someone from the diaspora who want to go and settle in Africa, I think Ivory Coast and Senegal is more suitable, because you're gonna have 24-hour electricity, you're gonna have clean tap water and clean roads and better healthcare system.
You know, Serena Williams invested in Nigeria, right?
No, I'm not saying. Listen, nobody's denying this. As I just said to you, Nigeria is the India of Africa.
But what happened to
Senegal and Ivory Coast I'm more like the Germany of Africa. This is, you have
So
to accept it.
Africa,
I'm African. I'm telling you.
Africa.
Yeah.
What happened to the Akon
Akon.
city? The city he was going to build in Senegal. If it's so
Senegal.
It's done.
Senegal,
Yeah, that's
listen,
not
Senegal
happening.
doesn't need Akon City. Senegal, Akon don't have enough money to do that. Senegal
Africa.
is moving forward.
Africa. He got a credit line from China, so he had the money. I don't know what
yeah,
happened, but
billion.
he had billions of
Yeah,
dollars
I don't know what he done
from
with
a
it. That's
credit
up
line
to
from
him.
China.
But the people of Senegal don't rely on that. They just, Senegal have, grown massively. They have 24. They have tram system. They have loads of.
No, it's not easy. The president was with with at the time. The president was with Akon. This was a big deal.
But you know,
Yeah, so where's the money?
there are levels to
Sorry, I'm back.
this. I'm sorry, there are levels to this investment. So Maya, if you're asking whether or not you can invest in a company, a Nigerian company, or a Ghanaian company, then that's different than going in as an individual and trying to invest. I mean, each time I've gone as an individual in Uganda and Sierra Leone. And each time I had a Ugandan with me. The Ugandan was connected. So that person that I went with had connections. And then the Sierra Leonean I went with, he knew the ropes. He had an uncle that was a big cocoa farmer, whatever you call cocoa. But
Cacao.
but you have to
Yeah.
have those relationships, right? So
Right.
I got out of Sierra Leone with some diamonds, but trust
Yes.
me, I mean, going from Freetown up to Kono and then returning and at the diamond mine, I mean, it's one thing. Condolis, he said some trigger words there. There's risk. This group doesn't like that group. You got the army officials, and this is the one thing that I learned being in third world and development companies. If you're going to do it on your own, you need a pocket or a stash of payola, where you need to give somebody a few dollars just to get further down the road. And then so those are the little tricks. So there are levels to this. So Venus and Serena can go in with their millions, and they're going to get deference from the government. An individual like me, I can take my chances. It was payola from the time I had to get through the airport, from the time I left. But I mean, I was successful in getting diamonds out. I wasn't even supposed to take them out. I'm ratting on myself, but it was illegal because they're looked at Africa. What are they? Conflict diamonds, right?
Yeah, blood diamonds. Blood
diamonds. And I will tell you, when I went there and I sat down before I left Freetown to go to Kono.
Oh, you went to Kono? Wow.
Yes. And I can tell you that when I sat there in the meeting, there was this guy sitting in the conference room at the hotel I went in. And I've said this on here before Blood Diamond was even filmed. I had done that route. I felt like I was that guy in Blood Diamond. I didn't get diamond that big, but there was a guy sitting in my meeting that was from De Beers. Right? And this
they have office there.
But what made him think he could sit in my meeting with somebody from Kono? Because at the time, Africa, that they didn't allow De Beers in there because they didn't want to give them control of their diamond mine. So they used Charles Taylor. Charles Taylor came in and started some conflict. Liberia didn't find diamonds until maybe 10 years
Liberia
ago?
don't really have mineral. Liberia don't have really mineral resources. Liberia only have rubber. That's mainly rubber they have.
So you got this guy sitting in my meeting trying to figure out what I'm going to do, like I have to go through him, and I told him to get out of my meeting. I said, I don't
Right,
know why you're
right,
here. You
right,
need to get out of my meeting.
Kick the
Right?
cracker
right.
out.
Right?
Do you know why? Because do you know Invisible Man? Because you're a black brother, you can get away with it. When I was young, I mean, a lot of this, like these people in the city, all these philanthropists, all these rich people, they go to Sierra Leone, they buy diamonds. The reason why Sierra Leone, in fact, introduced visa, I was really young. That's what I was told, allegedly. The reason why Sierra Leone introduced visa during the military coup of Valentine Strasser is because the British used to go there because Sierra Leone was visa free. In fact, I think it's the last West African country who were required to take visa to come to the UK via the visa. What the British used to do, they used to go there and buy diamonds and smuggle it and come to London and sell it, and they go back and they buy it and they smuggle it and sell it. And some of them used to use that to launder their money. And the Sierra Leone government thought, okay, you guys are coming here. I know we're visa free, we're part of the Commonwealth, but you're exploiting the situation. So we need to start putting a tap on you guys to see, how you're coming in and who's coming in and who is not. So yeah, Connaught District is where most of my family lives. Because I'm from the north, but we migrated to that area to mine because my dad owned office. He used to buy and go to Antwerp and to different countries, and also he used to mine. He had about 3 different mining areas in the country.
Well, I
But
think
yeah, I'm
what
surprised you
I
went to
saw,
Connaught.
Africa, when I was going through the drive, I saw people panning in the rivers, and I thought, you know what? This is 2004. I said,
Right.
if they only had more advanced tools, that little
Right.
drill that just goes 3 feet into the riverbed, they would be able
Right.
to probably do much more. They would find many more diamonds just with that one tool, which you could buy in the U.S. for $150, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
but Maya, you are gonna have to get somebody like if I knew Africa, I would have made that trip with him, and I probably still would have been doing business over there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that is a relationship that if you're a sole practitioner, sole business person, you have to have relationships. We even tried to put together a deal in Ghana, a group of us. So and the relationships, they have to be at the local level. It's no different than in the United States. They
Can,
have to be
can
at
I
the
say one
local
thing, Little
level.
Man? You see, Ghana, the Sierra Leone, the reason why you see those with this little pan in the river, the women's doing that, is because
Thank you for
they
sharing
know
that
it's,
information.
Right.
yeah, because they want to make sure people are not using too much heavy machinery and destroying the ecosystem. So it was better for the ecosystem, and these are local miners, so it
Right.
is better. But like places and they're not allowed to use mercury,
Right.
and they don't use a lot of chemicals and stuff like that. So that's why our land is still very precious. Like places like Ghana now, they allow so many different foreigners, and they give them license. What the locals are doing, Ghana is giving license to foreigners to do that. Sierra Leone restricted that to foreigners. You can only do big mining if you're a big multinational corporation. So it's like you understand. So there's more regulation over the years in Sierra Leone and Guinea and so on to protect our ecosystem. Because remember, see, with that area to like all the way to Liberia and Ivory Coast and Guinea, they're all rivers.
Right.
It's a very rich, dense forest, and it's a river area, and it's one of the most mineral resource rich region in West Africa. It's the biggest rainforest in West Africa, and
Right.
have the highest amount of rivers. So
Yeah,
it's
you
very
see,
precious for us.
Americans can get very starry-eyed and
Mm,
hearing all of the potential in
mm.
Africa. But a big business doing mining business over there is way different than
There's money in mining in West
consulting.
Africa.
Right. Oh, there is.
Loads of
But
money.
okay, so let me ask you this then. If
Mm,
there's money and
mm,
somebody like Maya or myself wants to get involved in it, do we invest
mm.
in like a local mining company? And how
Yes,
secure is that?
you have to have right. The thing is, in Africa, you always have to have government contact. If you have
Right.
contact with the local chiefs or the local politicians, and also, yeah, as a foreigner, I wouldn't advise you to go illegal. Just do it legitimately,
Not anymore.
legally. Yeah, I mean, as
20
a foreigner,
years
yeah,
ago,
you have
I
to do
did.
it legally.
20
Oh
years ago.
yeah. But now you have to do it legally because you can get into trouble. But until you get used to it, when you get used to it, you get used to the system, and you become one of the locals. You might be able to get away with some of the bits, but that's not good for the country, because if you go into the country, you're making money, it's best to invest some of that because that's what happened in Connor. Connor was destroyed by the Lebanese. They allow Lebanese people to come there and destroy the ecosystem, and other foreigners came there and they destroyed. In fact, Connor, luckily, it's the Fula and the Mandinka people who actually preserve Connor. Like most of the infrastructure you see there, the schools, they're the one that build it. Most of the wealth that they made in the town, they invested there. But the Lebanese and the other West African people, they only came to loot and run away with the wealth. And that's what made the chief. The chief became very, very, very annoyed with other people. So now he doesn't allow it anymore because of that.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
and they're very
So
funny.
let me say
And
this,
the
and
head of the the head
let
of
me
the
say this,
police in
Africa,
Sierra Leone actually based in Kono now.
Africa. Let me
Okay.
say this, and then you can add on. So
Okay.
Maya, he said you need to know the chiefs, right? And there are local chiefs, and then under the chief, there are certain
A
people
paramount chief.
that are there, and so when you do business, that's what he's talking about, right? So those are the relationships you have. So Africa, I will tell you, when I went there with a guy from Sierra Leone, and he had been gone for a long time, but when we got to Kono, we sat in this large room. It was just wide open. There are like 30 guys in there, and then we got called into the office. So when we got called into the office, there were probably 11 guys, 3 or 4 guys that were in there, 7 followed us in. And I'm sitting at the table. They pour the diamonds out on the desk. When they pour the diamonds out on the desk, I'm looking at the guys, right? And I'm smart enough where I put some of my money in one pocket, some of my money in another part, some money in another
Hey,
part.
one second. Hey, George, you need to there's an echo, George, on their end. You need to stop the playback. All right, go ahead, and then you got a minute. I got to pass the mic to George.
So at that point, Africa, me and my partner, who I looked at, I said, I better just buy some diamonds so we get out of here alive. Because
did he make money from the diamonds?
No, I still have them because they're roughs, right? I was naive.
Yeah.
I was naive. I went with roughs. I didn't know I had to take the roughs and then go to the diamond cutting cities in Switzerland,
Belgium,
Belgium.
Switzerland,
Right.
New
I didn't know
York,
I had to do
London.
that. So I have 3 roughs, right, that I'm sitting on, right? I don't care.
That's
I
your
just
money.
right. And
That's
so
yours
then
too.
when we came back down, there were people that were on the road. I don't want to scare people too much, but on the road, we had to pay payola just to drive further down the road.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
And I was getting upset, and because when you have automatic stuck in your face and give me everything, I'm like, I'm not gonna give you everything.
Right.
I gave it to my boy, and I gave it to my guy who's Sierra Leonean. I gave him all the money. I said, you do it, because he knew how to do it, right? And what we did, we wound up giving the guys what was equal to $2 American, right? So those are the kind of things. And what I was asking really, Africa, was I think what Maya is asking too is, how do you said I had to get the okay, but if there's a private mining company that a Sierra Leonean lives and is looking for investment money, how do we do that?
You need to go. Basically, first of all, you should be. I would advise you to legally have a license. That's number one. If you want to do some deeper mining, you need to let them know you're going to use equipment. And number one thing, you need to do the groundwork with the chief, the paramount chief, from where you're going to be mining, because there are different areas in the east and the southeast where mining is happening in Sierra Leone.
Are you still involved? Is your family still involved?
Yes, I do have family members there, in the village. Yes, they're still involved in it. They still doing this stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, it's something. It's more my retirement. That's my retirement plan. Basically, that's where I'm gonna retire. That's how
Okay.
my family made money, and that's how I'm gonna go back.
Okay.
You know, continue.
All
We
right.
have companies. We still have offices as well.
You're the
So, yeah.
man. You're the man.
Yeah. Can I say something to the invisible man? Is that okay? To the moderator?
You know, let
Yeah.
me do this. Let me pass it to George, because George is waiting. I think George
Oh,
might be calling
sure.
from
No
South
problem.
Africa. Go ahead, George.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Yeah. The topic started about South Africa and why they aren't chasing immigrants, but then I'll just continue with the topic since now we're dealing with.
No. Let's get back on topic. George, are you South
No,
African or where are you from?
I'm from South Africa.
Okay, go. So we'll get back on topic. Why Black Americans don't have to leave South Africa? Go ahead.
Uh, I'll just say one thing, and the thing is with Black Americans, South Africans and Black Americans, when you check, like there's a lot of similarities, eh? And the thing is with Black Americans, man, they know their place. They don't try.
Oh, it's breaking up.
Yeah, we lost him.
Mm.
Said what he said they know their place.
It's that data in South Africa, man. Gotta pay that data, man.
He's gonna come and gaslight what
Let's
is
do
fine.
this. Go ahead and ask your question, Maya. Miss Maya. Miss Maya, you gotta mute yourself. Go ahead and ask your question.
Oh, you know what? I forgot. I was listening to George.
Well,
Yeah,
you wanted
George.
to ask about business. What did you want to ask about?
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to thank you for the information, and yeah, um that kind of answers some what you shared was helpful. That's all.
No, look, I think there are many possibilities. Get in touch with Dynast. I mean, he's the expert on the ground now. He's been doing it for, from what I've heard and just being part of this program for a long time. So, I mean, he can probably put you into contact with some of his contacts, but you're still going to have to vet them.
Yeah.
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 Which
Talk to
I
Don
think
Dynasty.
you're the right
Dynasty
place,
knows.
what
Dana.
part of Africa Donis live right now? Where he's part of Africa, he stayed. What part of Africa Donis is right now?
Well, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, but you know, I'll be in Nigeria next month. I'm in between America and Africa like every month or 2 months. So
He was in
But you
Senegal as well. You not
I was
long
in
ago, wasn't he,
Senegal.
Dana?
I was Senegal in May.
but you spend a lot of
Exactly.
time in Sierra Leone, don't you?
Well, I'm Sierra
So,
Leonean too. Yeah.
oh,
Yes, I
right.
know.
You
Dana's Carolyn.
right.
You are a citizen of Philly. I was looking up Donis. You are a citizen, right? You get citizenship.
I'm a citizen of Sierra Leone, a citizen in Nigeria. All right, we got George back. Go ahead, George.
Wow, that's amazing.
Hey George, you gotta mute the YouTube on the background. There's too much
No, I
echo.
think he just has an echo.
Echo? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, George.
Yeah. So I don't know where last time did I cut off,
You
but
cut
as I was.
you cut off at Black Americans know their place. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, Black Americans know their place. Like there's a reason why that there's each and every foreigner from each and every country in the world in South Africa, and you have to ask yourself why is that? It's because we are hospitable people. Our environment, we've built a nation whereby the environment is conducive enough for most people around the world to come, invest, live, work, play, or whatever reason that they have for coming into South Africa. The environment is conducive enough. And the reason why Black Americans are able to thrive here is because we created an environment like that. So that if you go to there's a channel on YouTube called Web Nation. I think it's run by an American or black breed. I'm not quite sure.
I think it's a
He's from Ghana. He's from
Ghanaian.
Ghana.
Yeah, it's a
Oh, it's from
Ghanaian
Ghana.
guy.
Okay, yeah, yeah, sure. So he like there's a lot of testimonials as to why people chose South Africa. because like everything is conducive. And there's this channel called The Real South Africa. That guy is a Black American. He and his wife, they are retired, so they run like a tourism kind of business. So they take people from the US who are interested in visiting South Africa. They show them different places. They show them a lot of stuff. So like there's this package that they created just tailored for them, depending on what time they want to stay and all that. So there's a lot of testimonials. You can go on YouTube. Like there's a lot, numerous content that shows why people chose South Africa. And all you need to do is listen to them, not us, because maybe if you listen to me, I might be biased like them Nigerian folks and say, hey, we are the best in West Africa. No, don't listen to me. Listen to them. They are the ones who are going to tell you why they chose South Africa. And if you compare their testimonials to other people who went to other African countries, compare their testimonials. That's all you need to know as to why people chose us. And as to Maya regarding the investment side, I need to share one statistic. This is from 2023. It's a little bit outdated, but then you might get the picture. There are each and every country there's a stock exchange. So the one that I have is from 2023, and it shows the top 20 most the largest stock exchanges in the world. I mean, number one is a no-brainer. It's your New York Stock Exchange. There's your Nasdaq there. There's a stock exchange from London, from Tokyo, from those industrialized nations. South Africa, or the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, is the only stock exchange that is listed in the top 20 largest stock exchanges in the world. Not just in Africa, in the world. Ranked 19th at 1.3 trillion US dollars. That should say something to you as to why people invest here, or not maybe why, but where to invest. I mean, 1.3 trillion US dollars, it might not be a lot when you look at it from a perspective of an American, because, I mean, your economy is a no-brainer. I mean, like, it's over 20 trillion US dollars. But when you check from an African perspective, 1.3 trillion US dollars, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of people that invested in South Africa. And that should give you at least a certain clue as to why people are investing here, and where are they investing their money in Africa. So to Miss Maya, don't try and get scammed. Don't just do the research. You don't have to listen to us, but there's a lot of information out there that will guide her in where to invest her money. I think I'll just park the bus here. Thank you.
Yeah, but investing there in South Africa,
Hey,
I
Songa,
might as well go to France
Shawani,
or
Shawani.
Switzerland. I
Ah,
may
you
as well
might.
go to
I
France or
mean,
Switzerland because it's the same damn thing.
yeah, I mean, you can. I mean, you can, obviously can. But with South Africa, I think there's a little bit of uniqueness into it. People want to, I mean, the American people want to come to Africa to invest and to live, right?
Okay, George, let me ask you a
Yeah.
question. You said
Africa, yes.
American.
White is a different story.
Hold on, George. You said Americans know their place. Could you tell me how the foreigners don't know their place? Could you explain that to me?
Sorry?
You said Americans know their place. So the
Yeah.
Zimbabweans and the Nigerians that the South Africans is beaten out of South Africa. How they don't know their place? Could you explain that to me?
Okay. I'll give an example. Hey, in 2008, it was 2008. Yeah, when like there was a financial crisis in Zimbabwe where their currency got super inflated and like the inflation just ravaged the country. So as South Africa, they saw like this is not like a good look for the Southern African region. So they came up with a concept to say these people are going to be coming to South Africa. I'm just going to use Zimbabwe as an example in this case in point. So they saw like there's going to be a lot of migration that will come from Zimbabwe to South Africa. So they created this thing called Zimbabwe exemption permit, whereby they will register like these people from Zimbabwe who just fled from Zimbabwe, so that they can be able to live and work because like they are economic migrants. So as they were creating that in order to accommodate these people that fled from Zimbabwe, which South Africans, as much as there were disagreements about why they're doing this, but for the most part they never had a problem. So and bear in mind these people never came in legally, but let's just leave it there. So these people got these permits and they started working. I mean, they were pushing. I mean, like just like anybody else, they were working. But now it came to a point whereby time passes. I mean, it's now like 2 decades down the line, and the situation is not necessarily as it was back then in Zimbabwe. So there's this dilemma now whereby as much as we accommodated them because we knew like where the struggle that they came from, and now the struggle is no longer the same. Things are a little bit better. And not to say now we are wanting to chase them away, but the situation is different. And us from a South African perspective, because in order to understand us, we are nationalistic people. We love our country and we expect for other people to love their country as well. So now, since the situation now it's a little bit better, and now people are genuinely asking, when will you go and maybe reinvest or work in Zimbabwe? And that's where things started to get a little bit, I don't know how to describe it, but then there started being a miscommunication to say, now I'm settled in South Africa. Why should I go back to Zimbabwe? Now I've got this, I've got that. Okay, fine. You've got this, you've got that. No problem. But you can still do that in Zimbabwe. I mean, no one is harassing you in Zimbabwe or anything of that sort. Yes, they understand, but at the same time, now there's a certain level of entitlement that comes with it. So now they're starting to feel like they are entitled to being South African because now they've stayed for a long time in South Africa. You understand? They are using services, public services that are supposed to be meant for the people of South Africa. Most of another part of the reason why, like, I'll use the healthcare for example. One of the reasons why people started chasing Zimbabweans out of, let me say foreigners, but it was specifically aimed at Zimbabweans and for a lesser part Mozambicans, is that they come to South Africa, which is not a problem. They come because they're dealing with whatever that they're dealing with in their home country. They establish themselves. I mean, it's not a problem. And now they start establishing themselves. They're starting having kids, which is not a problem. Now, instead of going to
My friend,
private
I think I
hospital
already,
where they
my friend, sorry to cut you off. I think we already got your mindset, bro. Listen, look, all this smoke that you got from Zimbabwe, or everything that you just said. Have you went to
No,
after the
I'm just
Indians?
using them as an example.
Okay, okay,
It's not
okay.
smoke for
I
Zimbabweans.
understand that.
It's not a smoke.
Did, did, you-
Yeah.
did you went for the Indians who are pillaging your country? Who came? Who are the real foreigners who came there and still looting and stealing off you? Did you went
Okay,
for the Indians and tell them to leave?
let me tell you something about South Africa, bro.
No, well, answer my question before you tell me
Yeah,
something about South
yeah.
Africa.
Yo, I'm trying to answer you, right? Indians, for the most part, never came here because they wanted to come here in South Africa. They came here because they were slaves. That's one thing that you have to put into consideration. Indians never came to South
They were
Africa
indentured
because
servants, not slaves.
okay, yeah, they're indentured servants,
And
but
how many
they
were there?
didn't live.
How many of those Indians? How many
What
Indians came to South Africa during the colonial days? A very tiny population.
you
Majority of the
Africa
Indians that live
talking
in
about? The
South
later
Africa now.
ones,
No, yeah, half
the
and
No,
wait.
ones
they
that
were
came there
Majority of the
recently.
Indians who live
Well, guys,
who live
let
there
George
now are foreigners.
ask George ask George your question. Ask George your question. I mean, he's from South
Okay, stop.
Africa. Ask him your question.
Yeah,
Okay.
the thing is, like, you're speaking over each other, so I never really
You ain't gonna
got
get.
this.
Listen, mate. You're gonna have to
Yeah,
answer this one, right? You
yeah.
have
I'm trying
Indians.
to. Yeah,
Wait, let me ask that.
yeah.
Ask you the question, bro. Okay.
Sure.
You have Indians who were so-called slaves, okay? What the
Okay.
percentage of those, okay, that came there, they were
Mm.
tiny amount. I know that. There's very tiny, little minute amount of Indians were brought there, just like Uganda, just like and other African countries, okay, to do servantry work, like as servants. But majority of the Indians who live in or Asians who live in South Africa now, yeah, are not South African. They're foreigners.
Asians or
The
Indians?
what
You have to be specific. Asians or
they're
Indians
all
specifically?
of them, Asian, Pakistan,
Yeah, I
Indian,
mean, yeah,
Pakistani, Malaysian, etc. All of them.
yeah. That's why I'm trying to make you narrow down because when you say Asians now, including Bangladeshis,
Me, bro,
Pakistanis,
you know the question.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
answer.
yeah. Bruh, Indians never came here on their free will, out of their free will.
Are you kidding me?
And
Answer
when
my
they came
question.
to South Africa, bro,
You know, I don't want no explanation.
relax,
Answer my
man.
question.
Relax.
but yeah, let him kind of answer because you can't know more about his country than he does.
So as much as they weren't a lot, like it's because now the population of Indians is over 1 million. It's it's obvious that they didn't come here as 1 million. They grew here in South Africa. Some came after the indentured servitude era, but some came here during that era. Some came after, some came before. So that's the answer that you're looking for. It's not that 1 million people came same time right now.
What about the
There's
Zimbabweans?
certain
And majority of the Zimbabweans and the South African born also.
with Zimbabwe, I mean that one it's complicated because now I have to go. Like there's a lot of there was a lot of traveling between these countries. So
Yeah.
in order to answer you with regards to Zimbabwe, it's going to be a lengthy one.
You're struggling, ain't you?
Yeah, it's going to be a lengthy one. But with regards to Indians, there's a certain portion that came during the indentured servitude time, and there was a group that came after. So there are ones that came after 1910, after we became a union, because South Africa was divided into four. And then when they amalgamated these regions into one, called the Union of South Africa in 1910. Then there were another group of Indians that came, like your Mahatma Gandhis and all that. And
you
there
already
are
answered my
others that
question.
came after apartheid. So, like, at different times, there were different Indians that came, man.
So
That's
the
the
Indian
answer.
Right.
is not the problem. That's what you're
No,
saying. Bro.
one second. What about the two? You know the white people that occupy your land? that occupy 70% of your land, and you still live, that move you away from your country. They actually remove you from your house and they turn it to a tenant. Those white
Are you
people who have 70% of South Africa, do you know they have over 2 million of their brothers who moved to South Africa, living there illegally? Have you went out to search for those guys who are taking your job? Because these are the guys that actually are taking your jobs. They came there to do middle class jobs.
Bro, I think you becoming dishonest now, my guy. Yeah.
You see, now you
Because
don't gaslight me, mate. Don't not gaslight me. This is the statistic.
no.
Don't
I'm
gaslight me. Don't.
I'm not
Because this
gaslighting
statistic
you,
is
bro.
there.
I'm not.
This is the UK. Listen, this is a statistic that
So
came
you're
out of the
telling me
UK.
that
Africa, let me ask you a question.
they came out of the UK. So those illegal immigrants are from the UK. Those white immigrants that you're saying
They
they are
came from
illegal.
Europe. Illegal white
Yeah,
Europeans, over 2
George,
million.
George, he's talking about the overstayers because yes, they come legally there and they overstay their visa.
Those ones should go. Like it's no brainer. But the thing is now,
What?
the reason. No,
Are you
listen,
listening? Are you?
listen,
Can you guys understand this guy? Right? This guy is
No,
coming to
listen.
gaslight.
Check. Listen.
You're not gonna fool us,
South
bro. We
Africa
know you.
is a
You know what
mighty.
you're doing.
Whoa.
He's about to tell you fuck
My
off.
guy.
I heard it.
No,
Yeah,
You just,
no,
you
no,
just
no.
got to say
Listen,
Malema is from
But he's not
Zimbabwe.
mad enough to do it.
No.
He's not mad enough to do it.
Listen. That means piss off. That means piss off. That's a slang that they use in South Africa.
No, when I say
Yeah.
ish, I mean like ish. Like no, I'm not. It's not. It
That's the white
doesn't mean
South Africa.
anything
No.
major. Eh? Look,
Do you know
South
the funny
Africa
thing
is
is blacks? Do you know the funny thing is black South Africans? You are one of the poorest black people in the continent. Yeah, even though you
on
live
the
in a developed
continent.
white country, yes, statistically you are
What?
one of the poorest people in Africa.
No, don't
Because
lie, my
majority of
guy.
you people,
Now
majority
you're
of you
lying.
people live in the shanty.
Now you're lying, my
Majority of
guy.
you
You're
people live in
straight
the
up
shanty.
lying right now.
Africa.
You're lying.
No, you are.
Let me ask George a question. George,
Black
let me ask you,
Americans are the richest black people on earth,
Oh, he's
followed
going to
by
come here
Afro
now.
Brazilians, followed by
George,
black South Africans. My guy, don't lie.
George,
Do
can I
not
That's
ask you
not
a
lie.
true.
question?
But
George,
Yeah, you can ask, my guy, but the other guy shouldn't lie, man. Eh?
answer,
Don't
answer
lie
the
like
okay.
that,
question.
man.
Answer the
So let me
question.
ask you. Okay, hold
Answer
on.
the
Yeah, ask.
question.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Hold
ask.
on. Okay, so let me ask you a question, man.
Yeah.
So I did some research, right? And I came to find out that South Africa doesn't own no mines. Most of the mines down there, they're privatized, right? And of course, you guys got that law
Yeah.
with the ownership at least has, I think, 25 to 30% has to go to have black ownership, right? So
Yeah,
based on your
yeah.
right. So based on your opinion, right? Don't you feel that there's a small elite class of South Africans that have that ownership, and then there's a majority of white Afrikaners or British that owns that resource? And do you think that it's hurting the economy? So pretty much what Africa is saying is, why you not going after them? Because it seems like they're causing division in South Africa. Because every time election comes, these protests happen. Is always get targeted at immigrants, but not the elite class.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's true. I mean, there's a case in what you're saying. And the answer that I might give might sound a little bit. I might sound off as a coon, but here's the
What
thing.
did he just say?
South Africa. I said the answer I might give. I might sound like I'm a coon. But
You are good. Because everything that you just said is exactly it.
nah, check.
But Africa, you didn't
South
ask him that.
Africa is a
You
case.
asked him about the illegal white people. That's what you asked him.
He's not asking. He's not
Yeah,
asking
I
the
mean,
question. This guy is here to gaslight people, man. And I think
nah,
it's about
like
time you
I'm
go.
trying to answer,
Honestly,
and now
he should
he's
go. Let's just. He should
He's
go.
talking
He should
nah,
go.
bro.
the illegal. We're not talking about
Nah,
the white citizens. We're talking about the
He's
illegal
gaslighting. He's
white
coming
people.
here to
The
gaslight us.
illegal white people.
Let us know
yeah.
what you think about Julius Malema. Let us know what you think about Julius Malema as well.
Okay.
Malema is from Zimbabwe. That's what the South Africans them say. They say he's from Zimbabwe.
Nah, nah. The thing is, they're angry with him. So I mean, they will say a lot of stuff because they're angry with him, especially with his stance
Even if you pay
and
me, I will never
his
go to Africa.
stubbornness on why he doesn't want to listen to the average South African. They're saying that because they are angry, man. It's not like he's from Zimbabwe. He's South African, but they're just angry at the guy. So here's the thing, with
Why are
regards
you
to
targeting our Nigerian brothers when you got foreigners living in
hey
your
bro,
country? Answer the
you see,
question and stop babbling.
bro.
Don't bro me, bro. Don't bro me. Why are you targeting
Look,
our Nigerian brothers when
bro,
the foreigners are there
Not
illegally
only
and on
targeting
their
them, but
plates?
taking their
you see,
lives, Africa, taking their
Taking their life and
lives.
everything. Why? Why?
this is the bro.
Answer the question.
I want to answer the guy who asked me as to why.
Yeah, because that
Uh,
suits your narrative, isn't it?
no. It's because, bro, like, just relax, my guy. Relax. Uh, the thing is, South Africa is a
Stop
multi
patronizing, bro. I think
ethnic
you should go, mate.
society, right?
Honestly, just go, go,
And
just go.
these white people, these white illegal people that they say they are here, they are not living amongst us, as in like in the township. They are living in those affluent
Wow.
suburbs
Oh
where
Lord have
they live
mercy.
amongst their own people.
Wow.
See what I'm saying, guys? I
I'm trying
already
to
discussed him out
answer.
a
Now
long
you are
time ago,
coming.
bro.
No, bro. I'm answering and you trying to disturb me. And I'm not disturbing you. You're the one disturbing me.
Okay, let him
Listen,
answer.
it's not
And
about
up
this.
until it's your
After
time,
this,
Let
and
him
we'll
just move
listen to
on and
you
pass the mic.
because
Pass the
we've
mic,
been
bro. Pass the
listening.
mic.
No,
Bro,
let him
we've
answer,
been listening.
Africa. Let's hear.
Bro, you see, bro, these Nigerians, man. Hey, look, so as I was saying,
He's calling me
these
Nigerian
white
now.
illegal.
No. He didn't call you.
The
No.
thing
He
is,
didn't call you. He
you've
didn't
been
call you African.
typical,
To be
bro.
fair, he
You've
didn't call
been
you Nigerian.
typical.
He didn't call you. He didn't
He's
call you
Bro,
blaming the
Nigerian.
Nigerians. Okay,
No.
okay.
He
no.
said. He
Well,
said these
don't just
Nigerians.
pick
He
on
said.
Nigerians because it's not just Nigerian in South Africa.
He's
There's
saying
other people there as
you're.
well.
We see. You said why are we killing your Nigerian brothers and sisters? So I mean, it means you're Nigerian. So let me answer, and your time will come, and we'll ask you questions. Just let me answer. So the thing is with these white illegal immigrants. Here's the thing: these white illegal immigrants that they speak of, you say they come to the nation and they overstay their visa. Here's the thing: these white illegal immigrants, they are not in our communities directly.
But they're
You
using the South
understand?
African
They're
resources.
living with which resource? Because they don't go to public institution, they don't go to public healthcare.
You don't know
Everything
that.
they use.
Nah, he's telling the truth on that. They
Bro,
go to the private
bro,
healthcare.
you're telling me these white illegal immigrants that come from the
And
UK,
most of
as you
them
say,
are they're tourists.
they
Most
have buying, bro, these people have buying power. £1 is equals to 22 rands. £1 is equals to
In
22
power,
rand.
people
So
that go
look,
there
so
on a
you're
tourist
telling me
visa and
this,
end up
okay?
doing middle class jobs. It's that is average South African who just finished
They are
university
working
should be
there.
doing. What are you doing? What are you talking about? These guys going there to take jobs from your guys that finished university, the job that they should be doing. These Europeans are going there illegally and taking those jobs. And
Bro,
All
then
right,
you're
let me.
actually going in the streets
Okay, hold on, hold
fighting
on.
for the
Let me.
cause.
All right, hold on, hold
to be
on.
because
fair,
now you're
white people are
concentrating.
not
Now
migrating
you're
to South
hold on.
Africa.
You say they are
Okay,
2
illegal
million,
George,
over
because they're
2 million. Shut
overstaying.
up.
So
Over
you're
2
telling
million
me
living
these
there illegally.
you're telling me these
Shawani. Hey,
white illegal
Shawani.
immigrants.
George.
So you're telling me this? Sure.
Okay, let me ask you a question, right? This is what we're seeing online, right? We're seeing that some of the black foreigners, not all, some, they're
Yeah.
getting chased, they're getting their business closed, right?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that I've seen some South Africans, they're going to the Pakistanis and they're going to the Indians and they're begging them to hire South Africans, right? So my question is to you is that have you guys ever reached out to the South African diaspora to come back home to give you jobs?
Uh, I'm not quite sure whether we did that, but I don't think so. Eh? because part of the diaspora that is part of the South African diaspora is white. So most of them left here because before 1994, before we got our democracy, one thing that they said they will never be ruled by a communist leader. That's what they said. And
Half
they
of them
said,
already came back.
if that happened, nah, most of them are good. They are gone, my guy. They didn't come back. Most of
Oh,
them are gone.
bro, you don't even know what's happening in your own
Bro, this,
country.
you know what?
No,
Let's just
there
move this.
are
Let's
no,
move this
bro.
idiot, man. I don't want to
There
hear.
are
He's
the
annoying
ones.
me
There
already,
are the
man.
ones that are
I don't want to
coming.
hear him. He
But
just.
George,
there,
so to answer
no,
his question,
I
right?
don't know why you're taking this
there
guy
are ones
serious.
that came, but they are not in that significant quantity. Most of them left, and they stay gone. Most of them.
A
Most of
whole
them
lot
went
of
to the
them came back,
UK.
bro.
Yeah, no,
George,
not a whole lot.
George,
Not a whole
George,
lot. Because
George, to
there
be
are 1 million, there are over 1 million South African diasporas living out there. So those people, most of them left before 1994. There are some that came, but it's not of a significant quantity. That's what I'm saying.
but what I'm saying is like, for example, like I live in the US here, right? They
Yeah,
have a huge South African community over here. So
yeah.
that's why I was asking that question if you ever reached out to the South African diaspora and just have them come back home and invest and just, give jobs instead of begging the Indians and Pakistanis to give you jobs.
Yeah, I don't think
He,
it did that. Hey,
Mansik,
to be honest,
Mansik,
I don't think it did that.
Mansik.
Man, so
Do you know what
there's
I
South
wish out?
Africans right now begging and crying, calling people to come back. You haven't seen them?
Nah, I didn't see those videos, but I saw the ones that were begging
Those
the Indians
who are
and Pakistanis
begging
for
was
jobs.
They are South
Listen,
African right now
listen.
asking the foreigners to come back.
Don't listen. Listen.
nah, bro.
I don't
No,
believe that.
the video is there.
Listen. Don't believe everything you
I
see on the
don't deny
internet,
the
man.
video is
No,
there,
no,
but
on YouTube, they're not
I don't
begging them
look.
to
I
come
don't
back.
deny the video is there. I don't deny.
I'm not.
If you
Don't
saw
believe
it, you
anything
saw
you see
it.
on the YouTube. But what I'm trying to say is, right?
Nah, no.
If you look at Judge, just be quiet. Let me just
Yeah.
say something. So
Okay.
basically, what I say on YouTube, right? The country like Tunisia, those racist, according to men in the high castle, those racist sun crackers that you see treating our people bad in Tunisia. I've seen a massive, when I say massive protest, people in Tunisia coming out the streets and saying, no, we had enough. Of course, we had enough of the Tunisian government treating African migrants on behalf of Europe like trash, treating them so bad. We're not having it. It's a massive protest. I never seen one in South Africa where South African people are coming in the street and say this is wrong. What they're doing to other Africans is wrong. You know what does that
They
tell you?
um
Majority of South Africans
Africa.
support this fringe group. They support them. The country and the politicians are behind it. So just leave this thing. This guy is here to gaslight us. You think we're stupid? He's coming there to
Nah,
tell to
bro.
actually
George, are you,
what you have done. What you have done. You just reassured us. Yeah, this what we taught you guys. You just came on. You actually just nailed it. Like yes, exactly. This is who we are. What we taught you as people, you actually have reaffirmed that to us today.
yep, yep.
And what
Hold
is
on.
it that I named? And what
You
George,
is
are
have
you,
it that I
reaffirmed that.
named?
So well done. At least you've been
are you
honest.
Yo,
gonna
the,
do
What
I'll
a
give
is
you
the,
the
it
honest.
these
that I
people even
Don't
named?
chased
answer.
away Lesotho.
Don't dodge the
Lesotho
question.
is in
Don't
South
dodge.
Africa, and they chased them away too.
Yeah,
Lesotho
No,
is in
the
South
thing is,
Africa.
you see,
yeah.
the thing is
But
with
George,
Lesotho, ne,
So don't come here to
we've
gaslight
never
George,
us, bro. We
denied
already
that.
know. That's
No,
fine. Just
the
go.
thing is with
George.
Lesotho, we've never denied that they are our people. We've never denied that. There are more Basotho people who are of South African descent, more than Basotho people
So
living
you're
in
chasing people from
Lesotho.
Lesotho out to South
So
Africa, but you're happy
the
to
thing
let the
is,
white
but
man stay
we've
in South
been
Africa
South
and the foreign
Africans have
Indians
no,
in South
no, no, no,
Africa
no.
But
because they came there as slaves.
George,
You're just
Wait, my
George,
weird,
guy.
bro. You're
George.
just weird. I
Wait, my
think
guy.
you're
But
just
George,
strange.
Lesotho,
You're a
we've
strange
been.
guy.
South
George,
Africa
I'm
has
sorry, but you're
look, but
strange.
George.
don't
Your
deny
whole
it though.
people are just
We've
weird.
been
George,
asking Lesotho to be
Are
part
you a
of
George,
South
Zulu? Are you a
George.
Africa.
Zulu,
We've
George? Are you a Zulu
No, no,
or are
no,
no.
you a
He's
are you,
Songa.
I'm
He's
not
Songa.
Zulu.
He's Songa. He's Songa. He's Songa.
it's
Yeah,
so what?
Uh,
yeah. I'm
Quite,
yeah,
Songa.
he's
Yeah,
Songa.
he's right.
Shawani,
Yeah, I'm Songa.
Shawani,
Aye,
Shawani.
aye, Tatan, aye.
Ujani.
So we've
I have a
been
question. I
Fufini
would like to
Tatan,
ask George
Fufini.
next turn.
yeah, the lady
We've
have a
been
question.
asking Basotho. With okay,
Listen,
I'll answer her in
listen.
a
The
sec.
lady got a question for you, please.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't want to interrupt anyone. You want to finish your thought?
No, ask
Yeah,
the
I
question,
just
brother.
wanted to finish, then you will ask. The thing is, with Basutu people, we've been asking them to become part of South Africa. We've been asking them to become the 10th province of South Africa. But the thing is, with them, they enjoy their sovereignty. They say, hey, we are Basutu. Hey, we fought for this country. Hey, what? So I'm like, okay, since you are nationalistic, which we don't have a problem. And now the thing is, we're dealing with illegal miners. Most of like the some of not most, because like the from the SADC region, most of them, they are engaging in illegal mining. So now when we say now, but okay, you say you want your Lesotho, you want to be a Lesotho, you want to remain sovereign and all that. Now why are you people doing these illegal stuff here in South Africa? Because now when you say you don't want to become part of us, it means now these people should go back, because they don't want to be. We're trying to solve an issue with
In
these people
Lesotho
in
is
order
in
to
South Africa.
solve these. Yeah, it's South. That's
Yeah,
what
but
I'm
Lesotho is
saying.
South
it's not the
Africa. What
same.
are you talking about?
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
not the
That's
same.
what
It's
I'm
not the same
saying.
region. It's not
What
the
is
same
No,
region.
it
it's
is
the same.
surrounded by South
Lesotho
Africa.
is inside South
Tahaka. It's not
Africa.
the same. It's not the
but
same region. It's
they
two
are
I
separate
their
know it's
own
not
countries.
the same, bro.
independent
I know it's a
country.
different country.
No,
I'm
Lesotho
talking
is a
technically
different
it's in
country,
South
but
Africa. Yes,
yes,
South Africa.
yes, you're correct, and hence why we've been asking them, because it's stupid, to say the least, that there's a country inside South Africa and they are being treated the way they're being treated. But now, when we ask time and time again, we ask them, become part of South Africa, integrate yourself, so that we can stop this
Yeah, that
thing that,
integrate
yeah,
yourself.
we've been asking those people. Same with people from Swaziland.
So you're
We've
trying to
been
take their
ask,
land.
we're not trying to take their land. We are saying, simply saying, integrate yourself and become the
What?
10th
My
province of
question
South
to
Why?
you is,
Africa.
George.
why are you allowing foreigners in? Listen, why are you allowing foreigners who are not African in our ancestral home of Africa and chasing our African brothers out? Are you actually a threat to the black nation of Africa? Are you a threat to the black world? That's the question I'm asking you. Are black South Africa, are black South Africans threat to the entire black future generation in the African continent?
My guy,
George,
just ask
George,
one question, because you've asked a lot of
are you
questions.
okay?
Just
Are
ask one
you
question.
okay, George? You black South
Sure.
Africans, are you a threat to the entire black race of Africa?
The
How
world.
can we be a threat when you're remaining in
No,
our country, bro?
just leave it
We're
as
not we're not running around seeking asylum
All right,
in
let
all
me.
no,
of
no,
these
no, 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 no,
countries.
no.
No, we are in our how can we be
Listen.
a
No,
threat
you know, answer my
to the
question.
entire
Answer
All right.
my
population
question.
when we are living in
Are
our
you
own
so
country?
weak? Hang on. Are black South Africans so weak? They are becoming a
And
threat to
here's
the
one
entire
saying I'm
black nation.
gaslighting. Yes, he's the one trying to gaslight
Africa,
me
Africa.
now.
You think I
But
can ask George a
anyway, go
question?
on.
George,
Hmm?
let me ask you a question, right? So
Yeah.
what I'm witnessing too is now, right? Since they've been chasing the black and other Africans from other countries, right? So what's happening is too, they go into Zulus, Songas, Pedi, Sutus,
Mm.
and like they're facing the same problem too. In fact, I saw a video of a Songa woman, right? She said that her sister was in the shower. They ran into the house, they pulled her out the shower, and they grabbed her father and they brought it to a police station. Say he was Kware, but he wasn't. He was Songa.
Yeah.
So don't you think that's causing the issues too? Because even if they chase all the black foreigners into the country, you guys gonna start like fighting each other because they can't tell who's who.
I get your point, and what the video that you saw did in fact happen, and it's something. Hence, why there are certain people that don't want to join this movement of chasing illegal immigrants. Is because now the thing is, they cannot. The thing is, these people that are chasing illegal immigrants, for all In all honesty, they don't have the adequate powers because they don't work for the government. It's only the government that will be able to chase out people. So here's the thing that now that they come across in them trying to chase out people, there are certain people whereby as much when you look at them and when you hear them, you can definitely tell that these people are not from here. But there are certain people now where there's a line that becomes blurry because some have lived here for long enough that they sound like South Africans, they act like South Africans. So I mean, it's I mean, like it's tricky. That's why
Yeah.
there's a large number of people that do not support this because these people they don't have
Look,
enough
I know
enough
you're,
powers.
I know you
They
got
don't have
connections to this.
they don't work for the government. In fact, so
I know you got
like
connections to
they
this. I'm
cannot
losing my
distinguish
patience, bro.
between who's who and who's
George,
who. So
George,
hence some of
did
the
you
people don't
did you vote
support
for
it.
the Democratic Alliance, George? Did you
Yeah,
vote for the Democratic Alliance?
never, never.
You're a liar.
George, can I ask
Sound
you a
like one of them.
question?
Well,
No,
let the lady
let
ask
Maya
question.
answer a question. Let Maya answer a question. Maya, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to know, did I hear correctly? There are 1 million whites and
2 million.
illegals. How many?
2 million
2 million.
illegal whites.
2 million.
2 million.
2 million illegal, or what we call in the United States,
Crackers.
undocumented immigrants in South Africa. Is that correct?
There are, but the number I'm not quite sure. The 2 million I'm not sure, but there are white illegal
This is
immigrants.
from a solid
There
source.
are white illegal
Don't
immigrants.
dispute the numbers. Don't you dare.
2 million.
Oh, you saying don't you dare? Don't I have the right to question everything? I mean, my guy, you see,
You have the
you
right to
have a
question
beef with
everything,
South
but you're
Africa,
not. But
bro.
when it comes to
Bro,
white
you have a
people, you're
beef with South
questioning them.
Africa, and South
You
Africa has a
have the
beef
right to
with
question
Nigeria,
everything,
bro.
but you didn't.
So
But
no,
when it comes to white
wait,
people, you are.
You see, that's why Nigeria and South
Well,
Africa don't mix,
let the
my
lady
guy.
finish.
That's why South Africa and Nigeria don't mix, my guy.
George,
Because you
he's
have your
not
own,
George.
you have
These
your own
2 million.
entitlement,
George.
and we have our own entitlement.
Can
So
you just
when
be
we
quiet?
come
Let the
we
George,
little
he's
come
one
not
ask the
together, we
question. Have
clash.
some
That's why
manners.
we'll
George.
never get along.
George,
That's why
he's
we'll
not
never get along, my guy.
George.
That's why
He's
we'll
Don't
not
call
never
me
get along. So
George.
Nigerian. Just because I'm
George, he,
defending
yeah,
Nigerian
George.
yeah,
doesn't mean I'm
because you're a
Nigerian. Shut
Nigerian,
up.
man.
No,
Because you're
George, he's not
Nigerian.
George. He's
Oh,
not
yeah,
Nigerian. He's
man.
not Nigerian.
Yeah, whatever, man. Yeah,
I'm Nigerian.
but you can.
George, can you answer me this question, because I'm American and I just want to know,
Yeah,
who are these whites coming in?
Europeans.
They're
yeah,
European.
Europeans.
Are they in
Yeah, the
trouble with
Yeah,
the
British.
law? Because
British.
usually they will have their papers in order. Why don't they? I'm just curious, what's going on here?
and I think I heard one saying they come here illegally and they overstay. That's how they become illegal.
So
That
what's
was
the
the
difference?
plan.
What's the difference?
There's no
You
difference, my
listen,
guy.
guys. Yeah, I mean,
I
I
never
told
said
you
there's
from
a
the beginning.
difference.
This guy only
They
spoke
come here
1 minute and
illegally,
knew he was
they
gaslighting
overstay,
us. Let's just
and
move on.
that's how they become
No,
illegal.
but
I
He,
mean,
you know what I'm seeing?
what's different
George,
there? What's different?
George,
What's
George,
different?
George. You know what I'm seeing, and I said this earlier with Dynas, right? Also the research, right? Like there's 65 million residents that live in South Africa, right? About
Yeah.
29 to 30 million are on government assistance, right? So I can see. So are you saying that pretty much because it's limited resources, and some of those foreigners are taking the resources from you guys, it's causing like a burden on your system, and that's why you guys is acting out the way you guys right now?
It's part of the reason, but it's not the main reason. It's part of the
do you know
reason, but it's
Mansik?
not the main
Mansik,
reason.
according to that report, the same report that said they got over 2 million illegal Europeans, according to that report, these white Europeans who are going there illegally overstaying, they are taking jobs from the native black South African university students. So basically, if a black South African go to university, when they finish uni, instead of
Nah,
getting
bro.
that decent middle class income of $50,000 a year, that job is going directly to the white illegal European who are overstaying. And this guy is not talking about that. He's definitely gaslighting
bro.
us. Let's just move on. You
Bro,
listen to me. Listen.
bro,
Listen.
now you're being
Listen.
disingenuous.
Listen to me. You
You
don't think
are being
no, you're
disingenuous,
idiot.
bro.
You
You
don't know
are
what you're
being
talking about, bro.
disingenuous.
Don't come here
No,
and
you, you,
gaslight us.
no, you're the one
Yeah,
that
no, no.
you
Let's
need to
not. Let's
know
not.
what
Let's
he's talking
refrain from
about.
name calling.
Yeah,
Okay, you know what,
Don't call him
guys,
names.
guys.
The thing is,
Have a good night. Have a good night. Have a good night.
bro, you can
But
sleep
but George,
if it's your time to
but
sleep, man.
but
You
George,
can
can you
sleep.
answer my but George, can you answer my question about when I was talking about the system and how like the government assistance is causing like a
Yeah,
burden?
I was saying that's part of the reason, but it's not the main reason. The main reason why people are acting the way they are acting is because of the entitlement these immigrants are having on our system. They feel so entitled. It's like their birthright the way they are fighting for these things, for our resources. And we never had a problem of sharing our resources. The problem came when they started feeling entitled. That's where things started to become a problem, and that's the thing that made people to start acting out. It's the entitlement that people have a problem with. These people feel entitled to things that belong to South Africans, and at the very same time, they are not South Africans. That's the main issue, the entitlement.
Let me ask you one last question before we go to bed. Um, Mansa, you've been to South Africa, right? Your wife is South African,
Yeah, she's Sutu.
and you've been there, right?
I've been there.
Okay, now let me ask something. When you're there and you're walking around, do you feel some kind of way that somebody may mistake you for a Nigerian or a Zimbabwean and attack you before you even open your mouth?
I never had that. I never had that happen to me.
I know it didn't
I mean,
happen to you, but do you feel that way?
when I went down there during that time, no. When I
Because
went that time, no.
because Dynas went there and they accused Dynas being Nigerian, which he
No,
is.
no, 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 no. They never did that. I
They
assumed
thought you
that.
was a
But
Nigerian.
I would say this. So
Well, you're a
when I
Nigerian.
travel, well, hold on, let me finish. So when that didn't happen, but when I traveled to Cape Town this past November, I traveled with my Nigerian passport. Well, actually, no, I take that. I had both. I had my Nigerian, my U.S.
Hmm.
passport, but I did tell people that I was Nigerian.
Oh yeah.
And how did they react?
I'd have issue at all.
Okay, because I'll be afraid because Lucky Dube is South Africans, and they mistaken him for Nigerian, and they took him out, and
Wait,
he's
who?
South African. So
You said
my
who?
thing is, Lucky Dube,
Mm,
right?
Oh,
So
Lucky
right.
Dube, the singer.
the singer Lucky Dube, they thought
Yeah,
he was
Lucky Dube.
Nigerian, and that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That happened. Yeah, that happened.
So I'm saying, suppose an African American get mistaken and get killed or beat up or whatever. How you guys gonna feel about that?
The thing is, okay. Let me answer the question first. It won't be good. But to emphasize, the thing is, they don't just look at you and say, "Yeah, that one is Nigerian. Let's go to him and just chase him out." They'll come to you, speak with you, and once they start getting a little bit of things that they do not understand, or the certain characteristics that they perceive to be Nigerian, and then they will start doing that. But they won't do that. They won't start looking at you from a distance and say, "Nah, that's a Nigerian. We should go
So
for him."
so it's
No,
just
they
an
will.
accent then.
No. Yeah,
Because
the accent plays I'll admit the
Yeah,
accent plays a
accent
huge
just
role.
plays a major
Yeah,
role.
the accent plays a yeah,
no,
the
so you
accent,
wouldn't.
yeah.
So a Nigerian that was grew up here in the U.S. Because I know Nigerians, you can't tell them they're not African American. So you wouldn't 100% know.
Yeah. We were, and the same thing with the people that are chasing migrants. Hence why there's certain South Africans that do not support them, because they know there are certain people who come from different. They come from different backgrounds. There might be a Nigerian who grew up in the UK, and when they come here, they have the UK accent, so they wouldn't tell that he's
And how would you
Nigerian.
handle
But when
a millionaire, a Nigerian who's a millionaire that live in Cape Town, that dress and look like a Nigerian and speak like Nigerian? How would you guys handle somebody like that?
it depends on his conduct. The thing is, it's his conduct. That's all it depends on. If he's dressed Nigerian, speaks Nigerian, and does these things as a Nigerian, but follows the law of the country, I don't think there will be a problem.
Yeah,
According to
that's
me, I
not
don't
true
think there will
because
be a
these store
problem.
owners that's legal, you guys chase them out.
The thing, and look, hence why I'm saying these groups, there are certain people that do not support it, because some of them, they don't know, they cannot distinguish, and some of them, not that they aren't able to distinguish within the group, the group that are chasing illegal immigrants. Some, it's not that they aren't able to distinguish. Some, they are just fed up to the point whereby they do not want even the legal ones. They're just fed up.
And then you guys start with Ghanaians, man, some of the most humble people around. Come on now.
Now the thing is, we never had smoke with Ghana, bro. To be honest, as a South African, there's never been a smoke with Ghana. The only
So
thing,
what
the
happened? What
reason why
happened?
it yeah. So the thing is with Ghana, they started, bro, they started acting as if they were the main people that were being targeted, and they were. It wasn't them. It was just illegal immigrants across the board. It wasn't
Yeah, but
discriminative.
Ghana, they
But
said
then,
everybody,
yeah,
man. Come on now.
look, no, look, my guy. As I'm saying, like, when these groups started chasing illegal immigrants out, they never said we are chasing Ghanaian people out. They just said illegal immigrants. It just happened to that during their encounters when they're chasing people, they were Ghanaians, because there were some videos where they started interviewing people, ask them where they're from, why are they here, what's happening in Ghana, why are they in Ghana compared to here, what's the reason, that makes them leave Ghana to come here and live the way they're living. So those videos where they asked Ghanaians specifically, those were the videos that trended. And because the first videos that trended, the Ghana people, the government of Ghana acted first and said, hey, because now they are targeting our people, we'll evacuate them. And people started to say, like, okay, you're evacuating them, but it's not like we were targeting you specifically.
They bust
We're
in a
targeting
Ghanaian.
illegal
They bust in
immigrants
a.
as a whole.
Hold on. They
It
bust
just
in a
happened.
Ghanaian shop. They bust in a Ghanaian shop and took all her belongings, took out
And
everything, and she's 100% legal.
and Tahaka, and to add to what you're saying too, I've seen two videos of one was a Ghanaian activist, but they kept on calling him Nigerian, so they went to his apartment, and then they said, hey, where's your money? So he had like a lunchbox. They opened the lunchbox and they all started grabbing the money from the lunchbox. And he's like, hey, you still guys are stealing my money. And then the police was there and then they took all his money.
Yep.
And then there was another one with another Ghanaian guy. I think he had a hair salon business. I don't know what happened, whatever, but Victoria came up to him, was like, go back to your country. We don't want you here. Just go back.
Right.
From Dudula.
And these are legal people. That's quite an understand. But you know, I wish all the Black South African well. I wish all them well. I hope when all the so-called foreigners leave, you guys, you know, do your thing, build your country the way you want it, live with these white folks
Can
the way you
I add to
want it,
this?
and that's it.
Oh yeah,
Go
I
ahead,
forgot.
Tunaj.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, Tunaj. Do I close? Well, let me read the super chat first. Babaliko 9354. Thank you for $5 holla. Africa. Thanks for exposing George. All right, go ahead, Tunaj. Then we got to close out. Tunaj, go ahead.
Look, if he's not going to talk, can I ask him one more question, George? If that's all right with you, Dinah?
What'd you say?
I said if Tunaj is not going to talk, can
Thank
I
you for
ask
that,
him?
Linus.
Oh, go ahead.
Greetings all the panelists, chat, and the viewers. Can you hear me?
We hear you
I'm
now.
speaking. So you can't hear me? What just
Yes,
happened? How is that even possible?
we hear you.
Tunaj,
Can you hear
we hear
me?
you. Yes, we hear you. Go ahead.
There's an echo.
Yeah, just go ahead. There's nothing we can do. Go ahead.
I think my sake is echoing. Yeah, thank you.
No, it's George. Let me mute him.
Yeah, I think they will not be able to tell that much difference between African Americans. Yeah, they will not be able to tell that much difference between African Americans and many Africans. Apart from it's still echoing.
Well, I don't know.
Sorry.
That's
It's all right.
your fault.
It was on my end. So regarding the African American, they will not be able to tell because it's already even happening within their own population. They can't even tell who is who, and they are going after people. And at the core of this, when the South Africans say that the immigrants feel entitled, it's really strange because the UK here, where I stay, have more than 4 times more population of immigrants than South Africans. And they don't even call themselves a rainbow nation and all that, or even foreigners. They don't call themselves rainbow nations. I think this is why they specifically attack Africans. They don't necessarily go after any other group. And they don't want to see it. It's crazy. I thought, I didn't know that South African black population was this. They are making Nigerian politicians that are actually depraved look like geniuses. Like some of the things that are going on, you can't even make it up. South Africa as a nation, I really find, strangely, they seem to be advanced, but mentally they are so backward. It's really odd because this is a nation that took Israel to court, and now they want to find themselves in court within how many years? International situation where they will be prosecuted for persecuting other nationals with the consent of the leaders of that country. This is something that hardly happens in many nations because the leadership of all those nations will be like, hey, if you go after innocent people on the street, you get persecuted. But in South Africa, you don't see that. And this is not the first time. They've been doing this. This is a pattern of behavior. I don't, for the life of me, I totally do not understand it. And you know, South Africans actually travel at a higher frequency than Nigerians out of the country. 1% of Nigerians leave Nigeria to live overseas, but South Africans is 1.6% of them that live overseas. They make far more money from Africa than Africa makes from them. It's like the whole thing is senseless. Their behavior towards Africans is senseless. They act as if, I know they are poor. There's a lot of poverty. There's a lot of drugs that foreigners are bringing in, especially Nigerians are aiding it because during the time of apartheid, the apartheid regime was actually funneling drugs into the black neighborhoods. And this is what a documented fact. And after that regime collapsed, then they use other means. They put other people in the face of the drug trafficking in South Africa because Nigerians are Africans and they are always looking for opportunity, which is a terrible. Nigerians they don't have restrained ambition, and they decided that they are going to be doing it logistically. Nigerians don't manufacture drugs themselves. They get it from the Asia, this in America, Middle East, and Asia. So they give it to Nigerians, and Nigerians transport it to South Africa. And as a matter of fact, many South Africans also help distribute it in South Africa, causing a lot of drug pandemic in that country. So this is something that the authorities should have handled, because the drug problem that you have in South Africa, they don't even have that much in Nigeria. So why is that possible? Why is the South African government not working with the Nigerian government to deal with it? But instead, they would rather be attacking foreigners on the street repeatedly. I actually think it goes beyond that. It goes, they feel like they're better than other Africans, and they will live to regret these days. It's one thing for Israel to be engineering Jacinta, whatever way they are doing it. It's another thing for you as a people not responding and say, you know what, we don't like immigrants, we want to kick them out. We don't like drug dealers, we want to kick them out. But don't persecute them on the street. Don't persecute, especially innocent people on the street. And you are going to, and they will persecute Americans. They will persecute their own Limpopo people. They will persecute anybody that is a little bit darker, that maybe not even Zulu. The entire thing, to hear their leader, their own leader came out, one of their leaders, minister, came out on TV to tell Nigerians to bring their drug dens. It's like, what world are you living in? Are you living in a cave, the kind of in a cave? You said that Nigerians should bring the drug den. Nigerians are asking you to compensate the people that have lost their business in your country due to the persecution that they are facing. They have documentation. They are legal migrants. They have taxes. They have everything. Those are the ones they are talking about. They're not talking about you compensating illegal migrants. And then you say you're not going to compensate them, that they should go and bring their this and show them where they have their drug den. You are the one running your country. How is Nigeria supposed to know where they put their drug den? It shows you how this is a state-run thing. This is not individual stuff that they make excuse for. This is almost the entire population of South Africa. It feels entitled in some way or the other. They feel entitled, that they feel like they are better than other Africans. And I this, for a generation or two, this is going. They will not outlive this problem that they've created. And it's so sad to see that Africa, that we are looking to do continental free trade agreement, we want to be trying to open borders so that to travel within Africa should not be very expensive. And this is what we are getting from fellow this in Africa. I think they should take it to the this in Africa Union and handle this. And Nigeria, Ghana, all the other countries that feel like this is not acceptable should table it and deal with South Africa on this matter. If it turns out that South Africa doesn't want to listen, then they should start sanctioning South Africa and boycotting South Africa. Let's see, when they start losing billions upon billions of dollars that are making from the continent, let's see who has to lose more. I don't understand what they are like, trying to sabotage their own country. What kind of madness is this? So personally, what I see in that country, they are making Nigerian leaders that are actually depraved and corrupt look like geniuses from what I'm seeing in South Africa right now. I really feel bad for the people of that country, because this thing that they are doing is going to cost them a lot of money eventually. Let's see that kicking foreigners out is going to solve anything. It's not going to solve any problem. It's obvious it's not going to solve any problem. The people that are letting those drugs in are still going to be letting those drugs in. You can't even believe that South Africa, even till today, that they make it sound as if it's some kind of paradise. This country has the death toll a day just from criminal activity alone in 58. Nigeria has a terrorist problem. Nigeria has a bandit problem. But yet our death rate is even lower than that of South Africa. How is that even possible? I find that when I look at the data, I find it impossible to believe that they actually murder more people in South Africa today than in Nigeria. They will take their women, and some of them, they will feed, the Igbo people will feed them to pigs. South Africans will remain quiet. They will kill the South Africans, black people, mistaking them for dogs. South Africans will remain quiet. But the foreigners are the targets and they go after. See, today, they don't go after the white neighborhood. Whenever they go there near them, they start shooting at them. They don't try them. They are making Nigerians look like geniuses because the way the South Africans are behaving. And they laugh at Zimbabweans, and they will live to regret it. So someday, South Africa will have problems. Every nation has problems. And they will live to regret some of the things that they are doing today. I just feel bad for them. They are already being chased out of, I think the other day was Mozambique. They will be chased out of many African countries. Let's see that. And they travel more than other people. I think UK is becoming very right-wing. Let UK become right-wing and start chasing South Africans out too, just like they chase other people out. Then they will see.
Nigeria's not going to chase them out.
And they travel more than Nigerians overseas. They pretend as if they don't leave their country. They leave their country. Oh. They do. Such a hypocritical behavior. I don't know why they don't. They lack such self-awareness. Maybe because they are still young as a nation. I don't know. I'll leave it there. I'm ranted enough.
But Tunisia, I don't think they're going to be chased out of Nigeria at all, because they do have South Africans living and working there. I saw videos of them there. I'm talking about black South Africans. Mm-hmm.
I'd like to end and make.
Go ahead. Yeah. George has an echo, but go ahead and we're going to close out. Go ahead, Miss Maya.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to say I'm sure this is a difficult decision for the people of South Africa, but I have to say that I do understand why they have to make the decision. Any country, they must consider their resources and capacity. And if the people believe they just don't have the resources available to maintain an immigrant population at that level, then it probably is best for the country to be honest and say, this is not something we can financially manage. And that way the immigrants can move on to other areas. So I wish South Africa all the best. And finally, I hit the like button and I did subscribe. So this was a good podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hold on. Let's give you a here we go. Thank you so much. With that being said, everyone, thanks so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family, Dynasty Mirror Search for Uhuru. Peace.